Hey now, patrons of patreon.com/honorable mention. Special bonus show, not just a match, a show, watch along show for you guys today. It is the Jericho Cruise, the Sea of Honor tournament. And it's not just me, Jeff Schwartz. And it's not just our regular co-host, Ring of Honor alumni Shane Hagedorn.
Hola.
We're joined by the scientist of sound, the astronaut of audio, the purveyor of production, the technician of trouble, the award-winning Zach Johnson.
You forgot.
Wow,
the base master.
That introduction took almost as long as it's going to take to watch this tournament.
Yeah.
It's great to be on, guys. My honorable mention debut.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes. Glad to have you and get to enjoy the Sea of Honor. We've done shows from a tent. We've done shows from hotel, fairgrounds, armories, college campuses, and now we're going to the seas.
I'm ready to sail away, man.
It's all legal because of I don't know, international maritime laws, right? They can do whatever they want.
Everything is legal. TNA is legal. Everything is.
Well, actually, I don't think any of the TNA matches aired though, so it's like, why hype them up so much when nobody's going to ever get to see them? I don't think any of the TNA matches air on the tournament.
Just like the regular TV show.
Yeah, I think all that's on the Sea of Honor tournament is the Sea of Honor and then the main event of the Elite against Jericho and the Bucks. And I think that's all that made it to the Sea of Honor show, was just the all ROH stuff.
All right. Well,
I guess technically Jericho's ROH debut, if you want to call it that, since it was an ROH show, but beyond that.
Yeah, kind of a historic show for us to take all three of the facets of the show and combine us together as one, and I think it's worthy of an honorable mention.
It's funny to think of it as his Ring of Honor debut, considering how much we tried to get him to come in at one point, like sending him DVDs to watch and whatnot. Yeah, same thing we do with Kurt Angle. Like let's send DVDs to any guy who's not working in the WWE who might pop a house.
I knew that Jericho got some DVDs, and I remember Delirious did like a TV show that Jericho was at, and they filmed something together, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's coming to ROH, he's coming to ROH," and then he was on Raw the next month.
Well, even in Gabe era, we sent him DVDs. You know, even that far back, Jericho, I remember sending him DVDs through like UPS.
I remember that promo with Delirious.
Yeah. Did you send them to Mr. Y2J, or did you use his shoot name?
No,
Melee.
They were addressed to Chris Irvine.
Oh. Well, the walls have been broken down of kayfabe.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Just wait, I got all sorts of good catchphrases to throw in here.
Oh no!
Down that wall.
Yes, Mr. President. Well, if you guys are ready, I think it's worthy of an honorable mention. It's that time Ring of Honor went to the seas. Chris Jericho's Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea, the Sea of Honor tournament. And we're going to press play in 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome everybody to the Sea of Honor tournament.
That's not mute.
We got great action coming up here, including the quarters, semi, and finals.
Colt Cabana doing the lead play-by-play. I guess Ian Riccaboni couldn't afford the cruise.
I think Cabana's like the designated voiceover guy based on the Pinnacle of Honor thing. Look, it's a bracket. You know if they use that? The Future of Honor. I mean, the Field of Honor.
Field of Honor.
Field of Honor bracket.
There are some of your participants. Christopher Daniels, the Ageless One, Delirious.
Here's highlights.
Lizard
so
One.
You know it's pre-taped.
Looks like a pretty cool place to watch wrestling.
Oh, so Castle was capable of wrestling at this point?
Well, look at how bandaged up he is, though.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Pretty beat up.
I just know he was hurt.
God.
So this is after. This took place after Taven brought in his title.
Yes.
I don't get to. Wait, I don't get to.
Yeah.
A man lost his phone at sea.
No, I don't get to watch this match.
I'll be really bent out of shape for this.
No, obviously this is just highlights. Wait, that's Marty Skrull's finish? That's awful. It's a terrible finish. Well, that one was a terrible finish. I'm so pissed off.
Ring of Honor.
Calls it the graduation, I think. He just started using it in the last couple of months.
I was so excited to watch that match with Rhett, and I just got to watch fucking highlights. I'm sad. I quit. I quit this podcast, like all of them. Done. There's Jake the Snake Roberts versus Flip Gordon. Silas.
Oh my God, he does look like Jake.
He does. He just literally did like a springboard back rake. That's a move straight out of A Double's playbook during the Greatest Man That Ever Lived era.
Except, he got a little bit more height.
I think anybody could get a little bit more height than Austin Aries. I think I could even get a little bit more height than Austin.
Aye.
Yikes! God, that move is so ridiculous looking. It's going to be a featured player in apparently all Elite Wrestling. Not that guy. Cheeseburger. He's got a long-term contract.
I love his Liger gear, though. That Liger gear is awesome.
See, I thought you were talking about Beer City Bruiser being a major player.
And all
he might end up being a major player. It's going to be a Haas company of PCO, Jeff Cobb, and
Kenny King's gear there is fucking money as well.
Hey, Briscoe, whatever he wore to clean the chicken coop last week.
Okay. Random comment from those highlights. You put Jay Briscoe over and then give Kenny King a world title shot like 3 weeks later.
Of course.
Well, not even like 3 weeks later. Like, wasn't it this Global Wars tour was right after the cruise, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the next shows after the cruise, I think.
What an entry!
Because they were already taped they'd already taped like 17 episodes of TV early. I think they have TV taped past the final battle, and that hasn't even happened yet. So
remember, do not block the entryway. It's an escape door. In case the boat is
do not block escape door. Nice.
This is like a throwback to the old days of ROH when they didn't have the big entrance set, and maybe you'd have a curtain up.
It's reminding me of Glory by Honor 5 Night 1. We were outside in a tent in the rain, and we were walking from the building through the mud.
We've got Christopher Daniels making his way out.
Yeah, SoCal Val doing the ring
I want to text. I still have Chris's number in my phone. Lord knows if it's a real one, but I want to text him and tell him he looks like Grant Morrison. For anyone who would, I know you have no idea what that reference is. It's comic book writer.
This is the point where I'm like Captain America. I understand that reference.
Just Google image Grant Morrison real quick, and you'll see. Or Gideon Stargrave. That might be better as well.
All right, so the commentary team is Colt Cabana and Jay Lethal. That's an interesting combo here in the.
Oh yeah,
those two on commentary.
Lethal was champ, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Lethal's champ.
So he didn't defend the belt.
There's Bird.
Bird. The question of who's going to be the last man on the boat, Rhett or Bird. Bird said he was on the boat on time.
And they didn't know he was on the boat.
He was there. Because Rhett and Bird are notoriously the latest people ever. That dude right behind Val with that awesome 316 shirt, that is an ancient one.
I had that shirt way back in the day.
Isn't that like crazy?
Era?
What era?
Yeah,
Austin.
Just before smooth sailing Ashley Remington. You broke out the Chikara gimmick.
Yeah, give us a little background on that. Why is Dalton Castle not Dalton Castle?
Oh my God.
SoCal Val just announced that due to a concussion, Dalton Castle unable to compete, so this is his replacement. So I think they're going with the angle of Dalton's concussed, so he's forgotten who he is. He's gone back to his old gimmick.
So the gimmick they just did with Jay Lethal, when anytime you touch Jay Lethal's shoulders, he turned into Black Machismo?
Yeah.
Okay. Daniels totally should have been fucking Curry Man then.
Yes.
If this would have been Curry Man,
maybe Ring of Honor can sign Curry Man.
Coming out of retirement.
I gotta say though, I saw Dalton before I saw him live as Dalton Castle. I saw him at a Chikara show in Indianapolis do the smooth sailing Ashley Remington gimmick, and it cracked me and my buddies up. We loved it with the finger guns and the pointing and stuff that he would always do. So this might be entertaining. At least seeing him do something different than the usual Dalton Castle shtick,
See,
which I usually enjoy on its own anyway. But seeing him mix it up a bit's gonna be fun.
I don't know it, which is what's fun, is that aside from the one time I saw him in Pittsburgh and when we watched All-Star 7, I have my Dalton Castle references like non-existent. What is
Like Daniel's confused look, like what the heck is going on?
going on?
I have no idea. Is that Hornswoggle in the crowd there? Swoggle? He's pointing at random things, I guess. Paul Turner got it on the cruise. How about that?
Paul Turner should be. You think ROH referees? You got Paul Turner and Todd Sinclair.
Mm-hmm.
And then one young-looking kid that shows up from time to time, but or maybe that's Impact that has a kid that literally looks
Chris
like he could be in high school.
That's Chris Levin. Yeah, he does. He's like 39 years old, but looks like he's 14.
Oh, so he's
And no,
got
Levin is
Christopher
not.
Daniels disease.
Levin is not 14, but he's certainly. When I first met him, someone pretended he said 18.
It wouldn't be a show if we didn't have one of those. Oh my God.
All right, well, we're off to a high bar already.
Dr. Daniels would like the microphone.
After we see more Bird. Bird's hair is so long.
I know. It's as long as mine.
His is nicer.
Yeah, it's true. He's got conditioner that he uses.
And he has the top.
I have the top.
Now, what do you want to guess? Here, Jeff. Let's let you do this one. What is Daniel saying?
Well, Dalton Castle, you remember that time we booked you to be the ROH World Champion, and you got hurt, and it didn't work, and the fans, they cheered for you, and then we found that we had to put the belt on Jay Lethal for the 425th time. I'm part of the addiction now, SoCal Uncensored, and this boat is the worst boat I have ever been in my life.
Okay, so how is SoCal Val not with SoCal Uncensored?
Because she works for Fight TV.
She should be. But she should be.
They should have at least had a bit on Being the Elite that they filmed during the cruise where SoCal Val meets up with SCU.
Yes, I agree.
I did, however, I will say I loved the BTE that was shot on the Jericho Cruise with the They Live parody and stuff, and Adam Page, Blue Chew on this motherfucker.
Oh, they do. Those guys are so brilliant, and if that's what this whole All Elite Wrestling turns into with like one match on the show, then that's fine. I don't get. Is that shirt protecting Dalton Castle or Ashley Remington or whatever?
It's probably hiding the tape on his ribs from the first round matchup he had.
There's our announce team: Colt Cabana, Jay Lethal.
You can hear them.
I do like that they did do the commentary live there at the cruise instead of just adding it in post. Like that. That's going to make it a little bit more fun because at least it's what they're saying and reacting to live instead of faking it.
I will say Swoggle was I think part of this this shenanigans, so that may be him in the corner, but he doesn't look quite as thick as Dylan does now.
No. I love Dylan. Dylan used to come to Chicago.
I think that is a different little person than our beloved Swoggle.
Is it Taz?
Wow, guy's a little taller.
You know, I actually have.
I have
beef with Swoggle. I'm upset with Swoggle. I've never met him, but he no-showed
No-showed what?
He no-showed a charity show that
How do you know show was
That
a
was the
charity show?
So that he could do the greatest Royal Rumble that was that day. When he made the appearance at the greatest Royal Rumble for WWE in Saudi Arabia, he was supposed to be at a show that night in Pendleton, Indiana for a charity. Took the WWE Saudi money instead.
Blood money, man. Blood money. More finger pointing.
And he was one of the
Dalton Castle. Smooth sailing Ashley Remington.
I still haven't watched that show.
You didn't miss much.
Probably
you didn't miss much.
Finger guns. No.
Nice exchange on the mat here. Daniels and Ashley Remington.
Definitely not Dalton Castle.
Nope.
I'm just
actually.
It's interesting. How did I get? It's kind of like, he went to Chikara, and I wonder if he had to change his gimmick or if he just did.
I don't know, because he used the Dalton Castle name before he went to Chikara.
Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't have to change my gimmick when I went to Chikara because I didn't have one.
No, you were just a jerk, just like real life.
That just became.
I was going to say that was a gimmick.
Let it go.
Once a heel, always a heel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, and that will continue to be the case if and when I do make my triumphant return to the ring.
I'll be so excited. It'll be wonderful.
You better be there. Better be there.
And I'm gonna do my best.
And
we've got Dalton Castle. What kind of motion is he making with his hand there?
Oh, so did either of you listen to the K100 from this?
I haven't yet.
You have to.
It's in my iTunes. I'm trying to clean out all my
after Joe mentioned it to us. I listened to it and it was amazing. It was so good. Shane Helms needs to host things on the regular.
Well, he's busy wrestling for Ring of Honor, so.
Yeah. Is that a thing? I thought it was just like a couple matches.
Apparently, he's got an agreement for dates. Ring of Honor.
All right.
I don't know what that means, but I was told SCU signed new contracts 2 months ago, and they're leaving. So.
Ish, maybe. Speculated.
Such a weird time for Ring of Honor right now. A lot of up in the air, who's in, who's out.
We're
signing new names.
50-year-old men to multi-year contracts.
It's
ridiculous.
He's got he temporarily has a name value. Again.
Yes. Like, that's the thing.
Matt Taven watching directly behind that camera shot there.
Is that a hot tub?
The white thing in the background?
Yeah.
Like somebody's got
to if that's a hot tub and it doesn't get used at any point in the show, I'm going to be very sad.
It was probably used during the Impact match we won't get to see.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shame.
Well, I believe Marty Scurll said on Twitter that he wrestled 8 matches over 4 days.
Yeah. What were the Impact matches? Was it LAX?
There was one that was like all of the Elite, so it was like the Bucks and Marty and Cody and Kenny against like 5 Impact guys, like LAX. I think Johnny Impact was there. I'm trying to think who else. Brian Cage was there.
Sammy Callahan.
Change his name. He should really just change his name to Johnny Gimmick.
He should.
Because it is the gimmick, since it is like the gimmick of it being different everywhere he wrestles.
Johnny Promotion.
Yeah.
I legit was hoping when he appeared on Survivor he was going to introduce himself as I'm Johnny Survivor. But he just used John Hennigan. I was so disappointed.
That would have been awesome.
Or he could be Johnny Brother.
Johnny Good Brother.
Johnny Good Brother, yeah. We've basically done no play-by-play this match, and it is unfortunately one of the most boring Christopher Daniels matches I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it's weird because he's trying to work Dalton Castle, but not doing the Dalton Castle gimmick.
Yeah.
And Dalton Castle looks really hurt. Like his movements are very slow and rigid.
Yeah, like he is still like very banged up. Like he's been back a bit, but you can still tell like he just isn't the way he normally is. Like he was hurting.
I didn't get it. Obviously, as like I said, All-Star 7 being the first bit of product I've watched since 2013, like knowing they put the belt on him well injured and didn't do anything,
It was really one of the most disappointing title runs in company history, and unfortunately, it was not his fault.
And he gets the win.
Yeah.
It's their fault for leaving the belt on him.
Correct.
And not having him drop it or strip it. Yeah.
Well, Ashley Remington picks up his very first Ring of Honor win.
Now I wondered, does this mean Ashley Remington advances? Does Ashley Remington advance, or does Dalton Castle get to jump back in?
And personally, I think Ashley Remington should advance.
And we've got crack savvy security staff at ringside who can just stop those ruckus fans.
What?
The guy had a fisherman's hat at ringside in a security shirt.
Are we sure he was actual security?
I think so. There were other people in those shirts. Dalton Castle advances, and he'll face the winner of Marty Scurll and Flip Gordon.
It's Marty and Flip take the C.
What is this? Here? That's fruit.
He did this shtick in Chikara. He would always present his opponent with a fruit basket or a fruit plate. So
that's sweet.
He's gone full Chikara here.
That must have made Hunter happy.
I'm sure. Derek Jeter, when he used to pull a lady of the night from a nightclub in New York before he got married, he'd kick him out of his house in the morning and send them a basket the next day. I wonder if that's where this idea came from.
I don't know. I don't think Dalton Castle kicked Christopher Daniels out of the room, so.
Oh.
At least the other way around. That would be the other way around.
How uncomfortable do we think the SoCal Val Jay Lethal dynamic is here?
Yeah, especially if they're standing directly in front of them.
They could have invited AJ to be on it.
Yeah, that's true. And Punk, we might as well bring everybody.
Oh my God.
One big orgy at sea.
Sorry, boss. I didn't say that. You did.
Listen, if he ever comes on the show, I'll apologize.
No, that'll never happen.
One day.
What a better chance to getting Joe Koff to do it.
Doing a flip.
Yep, he does. But did he just take his pants off in mid-flip?
Yep.
It's pretty impressive. That's like, just go home.
You're not going to top that.
Nothing you do in this match is going to top that. You took your pants off in midair.
Main event move right there.
Go home.
He's just going to be away from all of these elite for years.
He blows it too early. He needs to do like Tai Chi in New Japan and like wait till mid-match, then strip off the pants, so you know you mean business. It's like It's like taking the straps down.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But now we're awaiting the arrival of the villain, one of my favorite wrestlers.
And in any normal circumstances, I would be bitching about this hard camera, but I imagine the boat makes that hard camera rock like crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a neat visual. You see the water moving in the background.
Yeah. And there's a fake Dudley by the entrance.
Zach Yeager got a nice tan.
And a beard. There's someone who's pretending to be Maddie at ringside.
Mm-hmm.
Fake Maddie B. You know, it's weird that I've had 2 Maddie B's in my life. Because I have one of my regular customers who's actually my insurance agent is a Maddie B as well.
Oh.
And hey, look, Spunky came to visit. Right there. That's one of the honorable cats there, Zach.
Doing a run in.
Yep, that's one of the cats. Spunky, say hi. And she look at that. Mrs. Money right there. Spunky, say hi, and she looked. That's Mrs. Money.
She knows.
I won't leave her in a freezing cold car as I go into a bar, though.
Will you get her to moonsault?
No. I also am a big fan of Marty Skrull's presentation. I haven't seen many matches though.
He's got a great haircut.
Gee, I wonder why you say that, Jeff.
Well, I mean, my sides aren't shaved. One day, maybe.
You like
Maybe.
man bun?
Yeah, I do. I respect it. Maybe for wedding season in May when my brother gets married, I'll shave.
Bird looks like a fucking Luigi right now.
He does. A hippie Luigi.
I can't. I'm watching this on my phone. I can't text him that while we're doing this. Will you please text him and the phone Jeff and say you look like fucking Luigi on Jericho? And then ask him about.
Ask him about. I asked him that last week.
Did he ever write back?
No.
Ask him again. Zach will explain that one to you off air. Let's just say a certain person we all know has the worst smelling feet in the history of humanity.
I was going to say a mutual acquaintance of everybody on every wrestling roster in the world.
Gee, I wonder who you could possibly be talking about.
That's an undisputed comment.
Yes.
Undisputable.
Somebody's hero.
Wow.
So it looks like.
Isn't the whole thing right that Flip like in the elite are not friendly?
He's in the respect of almost everybody at this point.
Okay. Because my only exposure to Flip is All In.
He's gotten a lot better in the ring. I will say he's rounded out his game.
Okay.
Even though Marty Skrull hits him with a rock bottom. That's a finish, folks.
Yeah, but he didn't slap the leg yet, so it doesn't count.
That'll come.
As I say,
give it a few minutes.
Give it a few seconds. By the way, I showed my shirt to Emil. Big Pop.
Oh, yeah. Big Pop. He likes that.
Yeah. I'll have to show you. I'll have to DM you my shirt that I made. That will never go for sale for fear of being sued by the WWE.
Flip Gordon with a flip and a kick to the back of Marty's head, and then another flip into a pinfall.
Oh, when your name is Flip, I mean,
That's all you do.
Shouldn't Flip Gordon and Flip Kendrick be a tag team?
Yes. Except Flip Gordon is much safer while flipping than Flip Kendrick. I have seen him really kill himself at least 4 times.
He's your guys' neck of the woods, right?
Yeah. A little south.
Steaming.
He's technically closer to Zach than he is me.
Who, Flip Kendrick?
Yeah, Dayton guy.
Yeah.
So he'd be about an hour closer to you, right?
Maybe. So I'm what, 2.5 hours away?
Yeah. Dayton's about 4 from me. Flip gets crotched on the top rope there.
Naniwa! Naniwa. Oh, I would have popped huge for that.
And of course, in perfect villain fashion, he does not complete the move, just jumps off and flips them off.
In a perfect world, Marty would be the best heel in wrestling, but his shtick is so good that fans will cheer him.
Like, you can't help but enjoy it. It's so entertaining.
Does that mean people finally cheer me?
Yeah, probably.
Don't care. Fuck y'all.
No, you would probably be the one person, Shane, that shtick would not work for, and you would get booed.
No. It being being cheered.
Jumping European uppercut from Marty Scurll. Should I do this entire commentary in British?
With some Cockney.
Cockney accent.
Mm-hmm.
Flip Gordon. Headbutt. Skull all the way to the mat. Oh no.
British Dan Penn style.
Do it.
Flip Gordon up top. Marty Skull up top with a kick to the face of Flip. Oh no.
Oh. Well, a jump. Yeah.
Flip to the very top rope. Suplex. A suplex, if you will. 1, 2, and no, a 2 count by Todd Sinclair, the referee. I could go all night with it.
Yeah.
Patreon.
You should have if you've never gone back and listened, you should listen to the Do or Die 2 and 3 episode in the archives where I'm hammered doing it, and it's ridiculous. Yeah. This is sober Jeff. I can imagine if drunk Jeff had been doing this years ago.
God.
Yeah.
No, Flip is bendy.
Torque on that. That hurts me.
Yeah.
Flip gets to the ropes there before Marty breaks his arm off and then beats him with the bloody end of it.
So who did the finger breaking shit first, Marty or what's his face from NXT UK?
Pete
Marty
Dunne
was the first one I saw.
Yeah, I saw Marty do it first, but granted, Pete Dunne was on the UK indie scene for a while before anybody really saw him. So
There's that era when Chikara didn't exist and they were running the Wrestling Is shows. Like Pete Dunne worked one of those, I think.
He came to Cleveland for AIW as well.
Yeah.
And was not good. In fact, he looked quite lost.
he's like young as hell, though.
He just turned like 23.
23.
Yeah.
He's like the longest reigning champion in the company right now, and he's like 23 years old.
But he's gotten a lot better. Like he's good now.
His visual always when they first did the UK tour tournament reminded me of like an early Sammy Callahan, but better than Sammy was at that point in his career, definitely.
And better than Sammy is now.
Yeah.
Oof.
Jeff loves him some Sammy Callahan.
He is my favorite wrestler in the Austin Aries universe.
Yes.
It's a small universe.
His top 2 wrestlers are Austin Aries and Sammy Callahan.
What an exclusive list.
Yeah.
Top tier guys.
Yeah.
They should start their own promotion. I'd watch something else that I'd watch.
But they already have a promotion that nobody watches. It's called Impact Wrestling.
It's true.
Well, Aries has.
And he's burned that bridge too.
Yeah.
How many times has he been fired from there?
Impact? 3?
Once for every time they've had new management, I think.
Well, and one of them was because he picked Ring of Honor.
Is he the Marty Jannetty of TNA?
I think even
Jeff,
Jannetty has
Jeff
a better
Hardy
track
or
record.
him. Jeff Hardy or him is the Marty.
Yeah. Flip with a drop kick in the corner there.
Speaking of Austin Aries moves.
Yeah, the reverse.
Also,
Do a shooting star press. Oh my God, more flips.
So,
Jesus.
educate. What's Flip's story? Besides, obviously,
Served in. Let me think here. Which branch did he serve in? I think he's a
he's a
reserve, Army Reserve.
He called a paratrooper because he jumped out of planes.
Yeah, that might be it. Only wrestler I think can remember from Montana.
Yes, that's true.
Like, ever?
Yes.
The only one anybody's ever heard of from Montana.
Yes.
Man, I'm as a sidebar. I'm like looking as they go to like the wider shots. How the fuck they built all this setup on a boat?
I don't know.
I love the visual of this show.
But this is
They like the full lighting rig, everything. Because I mean, they did Fozzy had a concert during this, and they did stage shows. It wasn't just this tournament, There was. I'm very impressed as they go to by the setup. I had this thought of like the ring. I have to ask Red, I guess, if you could feel it at all. The ring being on the water.
Yeah, I wonder how that would have gone. Like, if you hit a rough spot in the sea, like, do you not have the show? Do you stop?
Are you gonna feel it in the ring?
I want to see a dolphin jump out of the water as they go to the hard cam shot.
L dolphin?
Yes, L dolphin.
Super dolphin.
Super dolphin.
I just realized we're missing out if there's not a Shark Boy appearance tonight at some point. There should be a Shark Boy appearance.
Oh my god!
Shark Boy, like,
what the fuck? All right, so here, Marty just did a kneeling super kick and did not slap his leg, but he slapped his own leg when Flip gave him a jumping.
Slap your leg, Johnny. Yeah, I just saw Shark Boy about 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago at AIW. He was a replacement for Gilbert. He did his Shark Boy 316 or Shark Boy 420 or whatever number it is.
Yeah, like if this would have been a Chikara show or a less a different promotion, you would have had like the Shark and Shark Boy and something along the lines of Super Delphin and.
Well, I was gonna say we couldn't have the actual we couldn't have the actual Shark because unfortunately John Tentz is no longer with us. But maybe somebody doing a tribute gimmick.
Yeah, exactly. It would have
Your City Bruiser.
Sorts of fish-related gimmicks. I think if this would have been a different company.
I like how Beer City Bruiser lost early in the first round, probably so he could just go hang out at the bar for the rest of the cruise.
I'm sure.
Okay, so as you were talking earlier about if this was a different era, Marty would have been like the biggest heel. I think part of that is he doesn't give it time. Like all those kicks to the head he was just doing, he just keeps going. Like do it and sell it. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I think he's not supposed to be a heel.
But he's the villain. His fucking name is the villain.
Yeah, but that shtick makes him a babyface the way he does it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think no.
Well, it was one of those things where he started as a heel, but the fans kind of made him babyface, but they didn't really change anything else about his gimmick to go with it.
Well, I actually appreciate that because one of my biggest bitches about the WWE is people turn baby faces and become completely different characters. Like Randy Orton, the insidious heel of 2004, jumping out of birthday cakes 1 week later.
I'm glad I wasn't watching then. That just sounds awful.
You were not watching when Benoit won the belt?
No.
And when Randy beat him?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, literally Randy, the super shitbag heel. When he turns a baby face 2 weeks later on Triple H's birthday, he jumped out of a fucking cake.
Sounds awesome.
I completely forgot.
Flip Gordon picks up the win here with a roll-up, and he moves on.
Our second one. Of the second round.
Yeah, he moves on to face Dalton Castle, or Ashley Remington, or...
Yeah, or maybe one of the boys?
Yeah, maybe. Look at that chest on Flip Gordon. Jesus.
Yeah.
I imagine that's what Jody Garza's chest looked like after the match with Doug Williams against Go Shizaki and Sua.
Yes. We recorded that for Patreon as well.
And the two brothers of Elite gonna hug it out here? Are we gonna have a Mega Powers thing?
Man, that chest is rough on
We'll see
Flip.
if they do the handshake.
Who is homeboy in the center here next to the man with the camera on the right? I know him,
He's
but
audio guy.
yeah.
He is hashed. He's an @scumbag pop. That's who I think it is on Twitter.
No Mega Powers hug.
There's a nasty boy. There are two nasty boy shirts at ringside next to the one girl in a full-on bikini.
I see it.
I have a feeling that they are probably not there together. Like
that's one thing that I've noticed. We're on a fucking boat and everyone's in like t-shirts. I just saw a girl in a t-shirt with a flannel on over it. Like nobody's dressed like they're on a boat.
Man, cold waters.
Everyone is dressed fully. We got Mark Briscoe, Adam Page, Berger, and Jay Briscoe. Holy
Even on a boat, Jay Briscoe looks scary.
Because he is. Imagine telling him, "Hey, man, you're sleeping in my bed," and then he just looks at you like he's going to murder you. And you're like, "All right, it's cool." And then he just smiles. God damn it!
He's one of the most interesting people ever, and every time I see him and I think about his parents, and I have so much love for his mom and dad, how nice they were to me over the years.
Oh, just look at from the Ring of Honor perspective, it's like depending on where we were, families would come during my heyday. The Briscoe family was fucking caravanning to shows. I think they actually ran a bus show, a bus trip to one of the shows in 2018. Jay Lethal's family.
Yep.
Hero. I remember meeting Hero's mom and
BJ Whitmer's parents.
BJ's parents, meeting Cabana's parents.
Cabana's, mom and dad. Steven and Marcia Cabana.
People. It was, it would be a family affair. My dad came to a show. My mom never made it out to a show. My dad came to a show before wrestling while I was training because he wanted to meet Mick Foley.
It's a logical reason, not to see his son perform, but
nope. It was before I started. So it was the show before I started because it was Glory by Honor 3. And so my dad got to hear Homicide talk about 9/11.
Not one of his greatest moments.
No, I can't wait till we cover that episode.
Yes.
And we can talk about what was said versus what was aired on the DVD. That's all right. I worked an indie show where somebody on the indie show basically said if 9/11 happened in Philadelphia, no one would care.
We've got Cheeseburger Liger and Jay Briscoe here.
I'm with you though, Jeff. I love the Liger gear on Cheeseburger. It looks good, but so ridiculous. And to somebody that hasn't watched Ring of Honor, trying to explain to him why there's a guy named Cheeseburger is the weirdest conversation to have. Because I had an uncle that watched an ROH show with me, and he's like, "Why is this Cheeseburger guy?"
All right, so on screen though, Charlie Haas is the reason why he's Cheeseburger, right?
Yeah, because Charlie Haas kept saying that you look like you need to eat a cheeseburger, man, and the crowd just kind of took to it.
That was Burger stealing Rhett's gimmick. In reality. Charlie Haas just stole Rhett's shtick. Because we're calling him Burger before he was ever a character on TV.
Yep.
That's like the most notable thing Charlie Haas did in Ring of Honor, wasn't it? Oh no, they won the tag belts I think once or twice.
Yeah.
Had the worst
worst selling comp
fight. The worst comp in company history and the worst fight without honor in company history.
We've got a punch exchange here from Jay and Burger. By the way, we covered Cheeseburger's debut match at was it the House
was
of
at,
Truth show?
It was at fuck.
Night of
What was it
Hoopla.
called?
Night of Hoopla. Thank you.
Hoopla.
I don't have a
Speaking,
script in
speaking
front
of
of me,
terrible
so I
selling,
can't.
speaking of terrible selling.
Night of Hoopla. We covered Burger's debut there on a Night of Hoopla, where he looked pretty great for a relative newcomer to the business.
Yep. Good. The tag team champions of the world sold way too much for somebody in their first match, but other than like he looked competent for a first time out.
Burger also provided us a YouTube clip available on our YouTube page.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice of him.
And his worldwide dojo might provide me with some much needed time for something that might happen in 2019.
Ooh, get me excited. Can't wait.
But I mean, look at Jay. My God, think of like Air of Honor Begins, or the match against Red, or Honor Invades Boston when him and Mark had that match, like where they were in 2002.
Like, this is going to be a weird comparison to make, but I kind of want to compare the Briscoes to The Undertaker in terms of being in one company for a very long time, but always changing their look, always changing their presentation, changing it up. Like, they keep finding ways to keep it fresh where they don't really get that stale. And if they do get stale, it's not for long.
I know from the one piece singlets to just kind of being the like happy to be here baby faces, to when they came back in 2006 in the shorts, and then progressing slowly into like their heel-ish run in ANX and the Wolves, the Kings, and Steven Generico. Like, yeah, man, that's not a weird comparison at all.
It's very fitting, and you can also compare the number of tattoos.
Yeah, that too.
Well, I think Jay and Mark combined equal the Undertaker's tattoos.
That is correct. By the way, I believe we have an on cam from Judge Jeff Jones from ECW in the background wearing a hat.
I heard he worked there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you hear it from him?
I did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged. Death Valley Driver there from Jay Briscoe going for the cover. Burger has the ball kick out.
Like that I have to ask Burger who made the Liger gear for him, because did he steal it from Liger fan in Baltimore? I'm not sure if are you aware of Liger fan, Zach? At all?
I am aware of Liger fan.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I've seen him.
Okay. Yeah. Like that dude's
funny story about this guy.
Yeah.
You ever seen him without the mask?
He's black, right?
Okay, maybe we're talking about different people. Then.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm not talking about message board named Liger fan.
Oh, I was talking about the guy that dressed as Jason Liger.
Yeah, black guy?
I
don't think so.
No? Okay, maybe looking at someone else then. Okay. But what's your funny story?
So I met the guy that I thought was the guy that dressed as Liger. He came to like a fan gathering, and it was he had this yellow Volkswagen Beetle that he drove, and he was like driving a couple people over to the building, and he had more stickers than you could fit on the window of the back of the car. So he had stickers that like overlapped.
Nice.
On the back of his car, and I don't know what any of the stickers said, but they were all bizarre.
I'm just thinking of the Maryland area guy who was always dressed as Liger, who would come go to all the shows in the area. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't know.
He still goes to shows doing that.
Good.
Because I saw him at least one, maybe two of the Global Wars shows a few weeks back.
There's a super kick from Burger, and Burger's looking for the palm strike.
Shote!
And
So
it
I
hits.
was we I should say we for Pro Wrestling Explosion, the match that Alex Payne and I had opposite Burger. It was the first time I'd seen him work a match in years, and his growth from the last time I saw him to that was amazing.
He's just
But
such a nice kid.
and it's just one of those things where it's like metabolism. Like I could eat 70,000 calories a day and I still wouldn't put on any weight,
Yeah.
But he's found his niche, his character, what's worked for him, and
he's gonna make a great heel one day.
oh yeah, but he would have to stick with the cowboy gear that he wore out to this.
Yes.
And have his own set and basically have to take the kids that are in his like shinobi army or whatever they call it now and make them his boys.
Yeah, make them like foot soldiers.
Instead of his putties.
Yep.
Make them his putties. Oh, and Jay Driller on Burger.
They could be French fries.
Yes.
No, I would think the way for Cheeseburger to go heel is he's got to do a vegan gimmick.
Oh,
Like say I hate cheeseburgers.
Wow. That's
my new name is Black Bean Burger.
Don't call me Cheeseburger. Call me by my new name, Tofu Burger.
Delirious has now cribbed at least one more idea from this podcast. As Jay Briscoe picks up the win.
We should do that in the future. Start trying out ideas and see if they need to make their way.
Would it surprise you knowing who listens to this show?
Now we have Mark Briscoe and Adam Page. This better be Adam Page. I don't want to see Mark and Jay wrestle. Not that it's a bad thing. And the funny thing is, I have no idea what happened in this. I never read spoilers, knowing that we had a plan.
Either.
To know that me and you had talked about doing this, I never read results, so I have no fucking clue what happens.
The only thing I know who wins the tournament because it's been referenced on TV, but I'll keep quiet. I'm not going to give it away.
Yeah, I have no idea. I really.
That guy totally went for a fist bump and got denied. Mark Briscoe walked right by him and into the ring.
I have been there more times than I would care to admit, sitting ringside at shows.
There's Judge Jeff Jones in the background there. Kenny King as well making an appearance.
Yep, Todd Sinclair wearing pants because he's working.
That's right.
Other than that, there's no pants on the pants. Mark's tribute.
And here comes the Hangman.
It amazes me that Mark still does that 12 years later, 13 years later, 14 years later. Yeah.
I will say I'm very high on Hangman Page.
Yeah, it's going to be a shame he's going to be disappearing here in a short period of time.
Allegedly. Or maybe already disappeared, depending on when we decide to put this up.
Yeah.
I might bump this up the line, on the Patreon release schedule to a Christmas present.
Yeah, this would be a good Christmas present.
I'll bump Joe P again.
All right. We can keep bumping Loki until he makes an appearance on our show.
My two dreams, Low-Key and Homicide.
Yep. Well, Homicide's gonna happen at some point. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I just gotta get him wrangled in. By the way, there's a swimming pool directly behind the audio equipment that some guy just jumped into. Why would you put the audio equipment that close?
It's the only place you can put it. Why Bird's hair is down to his nipples? I love you, Bird. So, history here, right? Didn't they beat the Briscoes and somebody else for the 6-man tags?
The Briscoes were with Bubba Ray Dudley. who occupies entirely too much space on the roster. He can join the Austin Aries and Sami Callihan
Oh my
fan club.
God. Yeah, if I had one major complaint about ROH today is that I really wish that Bully Ray would just disappear and be done with it because I'm so over that gimmick and his shtick.
It's like a censored version of ECW Bubba Ray Dudley, and it sucks. And I have no interest in seeing him work. As Mark just chops Hangman.
I really hope that the match they have lined up for Bully at Final Battle is his final battle with the company, and he's gone after that.
Yeah, he can go join the. Go to Evolve. That's where he.
No, don't go to Evolve. Please
Even
just
Sal can't
disappear.
afford Bully Ray.
Isn't he on the WWE payroll?
He would have to be. WWN can't afford Bully Ray.
Well, maybe with Evolve now becoming NXT's NXT, you know, they might be able to afford it.
I mean, does Bully Ray get more per appearance than Chris Hero? Cassius Ohno, whatever his name is.
Financial status, that's all. Gabe wants to pay for Patreon. He can hear those comments.
Yep. But sometimes you just have to pay that $12 a month or $10 a month, whatever we charge for this thing.
And he can hear me say I know way too much about what happened there than I probably should.
Oh, Gabe.
Oh. Adam Clem.
The wheels fell off. Now we've got another staring contest.
Let's see, we've had a slam contest. I guess we're going to have a suplex off now.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny King must have cracked a funny joke because...
Is that Kenny?
Yeah, back there with the sound man.
I love
I can't think of what the hell his name is, though.
Yeah, I told you what the Twitter handle is, and I just drew a blank because I recently asked Bird, like, I know this, but I can't think of who it is.
He was with me and Rhett when Delirious kicked me out of the conversation at Joey Janela's spring break.
Was that the first one or the second one?
The first one. We were all talking, and he looked at me and he goes, "You out of here." I said, "Excuse me?"
I'll be like,
go back to your friends.
Like I'm standing next to one right here.
Yeah, well, like Bird was there, sound guy. I can't think of the girl's name, and
Mandy.
No, well, she was there too, but I don't really know her. So.
Oh.
Mark over the top. Going headed up to the high.
So many things you could have said in response to that. You may have gotten yourself banned from all future ROH events as a result, but so many things you could have said.
I like compensatory tickets from my friends.
I'll just ask Gary.
Gary's my friend. Gary doesn't pay for this Patreon.com. Quite frankly, I don't think Delirious outkicked his coverage. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it.
He did not?
No, I don't think she's that attractive.
I'm not arguing that point. I'm just clarifying what you said.
Yeah. It's all right. He's too busy smoking heaters for him to listen to anything I have to say on this thing. But Gary Juster, I'm a fan. So, thank you.
If you walk around the show saying, "Gary, where are you, Gary?"
I did when I was in Columbus. Gary, where are you? And Stu, who was with me, was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, Richard Simmons, Gary Juster.
Yeah.
And he just looked at me like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I said,
So, going back to this match, okay, yeah, we're not we're sidebarring so much. It's not because this match is bad. It's just
we're supposed to be watching wrestling.
Yeah, there's inside jokes.
The funny thing is, as I'm watching this on my phone, you guys are on my laptop, and Takeover for the second time is on my TV because I really want to watch these matches from Takeover again because it was awesome.
That was a fantastic show.
Yeah, it was. But as I say, was like this match right here, watching it is a great example to me of one, how far Adam Page has come, and two, how underutilized Mark Briscoe is as a singles wrestler.
100% agreed on both.
I mean, Mark's had more opportunities, but it kind of reminds me of, it's like, I don't know, it's not the same league as Rhett and his underutilization, but
I think we could make the case that over the course of 17 years of Ring of Honor almost, Mark Briscoe is the most underutilized talent they've ever had come through. There's Judge Jeff Jones with his stupid hat camera.
That's not Jeff. With the hat on?
He had a white shirt on. This is
That's not Jeff.
Who is that guy?
I don't know. That's not Jeff. Jeff's actually pretty leaned out nowadays. That guy was chubby.
Apparently a bird just flew into the announce position.
And it's the greatest thing Cabana's ever seen.
He told me about
it. I think it's because it landed right on somebody's lap, didn't it? Just like flew in and just landed on somebody. That's why everybody was marking out and not paying attention to the match. Kind of like how we're not paying attention to the match.
Yeah. But no, you're.
Look at all that.
You said a bird landed. You said a bird landed on somebody. I'm like, wait, what did Sean jump on?
I
feel
bird.
Bad for him. You just reminded me of something. Did he write you back yet?
No.
I also need to know how his kitty's doing because his kitty went missing while he was on the cruise.
Oh no.
Yeah. But no, as far as Mark, yes, you were right. In the entire history of the company, I think Mark may be the most underutilized person.
See, I don't think he's ever had a singles title. I thought after the TV title was introduced, he should have at least had a small run with that.
At one point, we had a discussion when Jay was the world champion, as short-lived as that was because of Jay's injury, but of having them both getting the world and TV titles, on the Briscoes.
That would have been fun.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful German suplex and bridge for a 2 count there. Mark Briscoe also did the choo-choo thing before that.
What, Eric's choo-choo?
Yes.
Eric Stevens' choo-choo?
Yes, or the Ho Train, if you will.
Or the Ho Train.
Man, Eric Stevens, there's a name I haven't heard in a while.
I still talk to Eric on the regular on Twitter.
He's got a great Instagram. There's a Fisherman's Buster, since I didn't call that properly earlier.
No, you called it some random fucking thing in that other match with Go Shizaki.
Yeah.
Like a double underhook neutralizing takeover.
Well, if it was Gabe, it would be a double underhook. What a maneuver!
Get your ass!
Pretty much. Nobody's done any dives when he yells soaring and scoring yet.
I just want somebody to hit a Falcon Arrow so I can say he done the deal. I'm gonna rip off Excalibur if that happens.
Nice.
Lariat from Page there. And, one of the things you just see a star in Adam Page. I mean, he looks the part. He's got the move set.
As far as people who didn't already have a name from wrestling and that have benefited from the elite, him and Marty.
100%.
I don't think the elite thing has benefited Chase Owens, in my opinion, in a bigger picture.
Chase Owens is in the elite?
Or Bullet Club or whatever.
Oh.
Same shit.
I was going to say.
Continuation of the same shit.
The fake crown jewel.
So weird because I remember when
Adam
Page.
I know. But Jimmy Rave is the only crown jewel as far as I'm concerned. We're going to start where we started.
You remember when Adam Page what?
I was going to say, I remember when Adam Page first joined Bullet Club, a lot of people figured it was just so he could be the fall guy. Like, he'd be the guy that would take the fall in, the multi-man tags in New Japan and stuff. And, that ended up not being the case, and that was Chase Owens. And they actually started to put some push behind Hangman, and he's improved by leaps. And what the heck, Mark Briscoe just beat him.
Roll up. Mark Briscoe wins. Are we getting Briscoe and Briscoe?
Hold on. 3 roll-ups. We watched 3 matches, and they've ended with 3 roll-ups.
Yep.
No, 4 matches and 3 roll-ups. Jay
4
Briscoe
matches,
Jay
3
Briscoe
roll-ups.
pinned Cheeseburger with one hand.
4 matches, 3 roll-ups.
All right.
What the fuck?
I mean, clearly, this is like that night of the vertical suplexes. The 4th anniversary show where every match had a vertical suplex.
No. I'm not even looking at no. I'm not looking at it as repeating. I'm looking at it as like, really? You have to. I look at it from the perspective of booking, like a protecting standpoint. Well, I don't want this person to get pinned by a finisher sort of thing, so we're gonna have them get beat by a roll-up.
Do we just have a jump in time?
It's now night.
It's apparently
Maybe
now
they had
nighttime.
Maybe there's intermission, so go to the bar.
Oh, hey, and we got Dalton Castle back.
But
He's
here he
apparently
comes.
healed from his concussion in the span of a day.
Except he has more wrappings on him than...
Yes. 4 matches, 3 roll-ups. I look at
two more
roll-ups.
roll-ups.
I look at roll-ups as being a protecting a guy move.
Yep.
Or I don't want them to get beat.
Which is a Hunter thing. With
It's
the
a
link
shit
book.
finish. It's a shit finish to happen that many times in the same round. You know, 1 or 2 matches out of 4 getting that, but 3 out of 4, and the only one that got a pinfall is the one that should have a pin. Like, absolutely, if it didn't have a pinfall, it'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, if Jay Briscoe had beat Cheeseburger of all
With a
people with
roll-up.
yeah, that would have been a little
A
ridiculous.
flash pin.
Not trying to knock Cheeseburger at all, but yeah, that definitely is a match that should not be a roll-up finish.
How insulting how do you think Cheeseburger feels that he was the only one that had to take some sort of move to get finished?
Would have been funny. Somebody getting in his ear. Bro, you're the only one who got pinned this round.
I was going to say, like, did he maybe even not notice that was the case? Because, yeah, I would have been a little suspicious of that if I were him. Like, wait a minute.
It's completely logical, but that's what happens. But still, it is. It's just like, dude, somebody can get pinned cleanly and it not hurt them.
Look, Gordon apparently has been to the Bahamas in between matches.
Yeah, I think this was taped a different day. Because, let's see, that cruise was, what, a week? Or almost a week?
Yeah, it was.
Matt Taven is there with Cabana at the announce table, so
yeah,
clearly there's a different day or
yeah.
Wow, he managed to flip the hat off while flipping into the ring. That is
still not
actually
as cool as Matt Riddle's flip flops.
No, that is hilarious. I love that.
And his flip flops have fanny packs on them.
As I say this, Matt Riddle's on my TV. Just
bro.
Yeah, bro.
See, look, right behind Flip. It's a judge.
I think you're just seeing Jeff everywhere.
You're wanting it to happen so bad that you're
talking about it so
yourself.
Much. I'm gonna watch a 1999 ECW pay-per-view right now in the background. I'm gonna watch Sid powerbomb Spike Dudley.
No.
With that horrible generic music.
Yeah, probably.
I can't watch it. Take away the music, just doesn't mean much. Dalton Castle has his entire
left leg, his left butt cheek, all of his ribs are all wrapped up in like KT tape.
And Mrs. Johnson has joined the announce team along with Matt Taven
and his pink belt. That's more fuchsia.
Like I don't get how Dalton Castle's working if he's in rough shape. Dude, take some time off and heal up.
No, if you don't play, you don't get paid.
That's true.
That's where you got to say, well, maybe I got to get a shoot job or do a High Spots TV show.
I mean, I certainly
Start a
don't know
podcast.
I don't know how SBG deals with that. But yes, back in my day, yeah, if you weren't wrestling, you probably didn't get paid. Except for, Kevin,
I was gonna say,
obviously.
what if you were sent home because the old man was having his fit?
Yes, and Carrie Silken was a good soul and
Great.
took care of you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a photos.
Looks in pain doing everything.
Yeah.
A photo of what?
I was starting to say I got a photo of me and Jim Cornette from a meet and greet somewhere that I almost like never post because I took the photo with him before I realized just like how old man yells at cloud off the deep end corny could be sometimes. And I'm like, you know what? Nope.
So I went to WrestleMania 18. And we only had tickets to WrestleMania 18, but we just bought, from Scalper. There's a difference. Canadian scalpers, they charge you less than face value to go into the fan access event that they had before WrestleMania 18. And I don't know if I still have it. I'd have to look through my bin of memorabilia. I had a double autograph that was Cornette and Brother Love from WrestleMania 18.
Oh, wow.
Yes. During that same session of autographs, I also got Benoit's autograph. While getting Benoit's autograph, I missed shit-faced, fucked up Shawn Michaels on the floor wandering around. Not officially there.
No.
And my friend who I was with decided to tell me this after the fact, knowing Shawn was my favorite wrestler of all time at that point. Oh yeah, Shawn Michaels was downstairs while you were up getting Benoit's autograph, and I was like, "Did you get his autograph for me?" He's like, "No." You're an asshole.
Dalton Kessel's chest apparently hurting, so he's gonna douse it with some cold water. I don't think that really helps. The chop pain.
Flip chop them. Mm-hmm.
I think G.I. Joe is very upset with Flip Gordon for his tights.
I mean, they were not upset with Punk.
Nope.
Well, I mean, then again, WWE paranoid enough removed his logoed tattoos from video games
and action figures. Which, by the way, anybody out there in the world, if they see or listen to this podcast on patreon.com/honorablepod, if you see the Authors of Pain from Elite 62 anywhere, please let me know.
What?
I've gone to Target every day for like the last.
Why are you looking for Authors of Pain in figures?
Because they're my favorite tag team in the world.
They're your favorite tag team of the world in the world?
Yeah, in the WWE world. I love the Authors of Pain.
Interesting.
I don't care for their manager, but I like the Authors of Pain.
I would only want them if they came with a what's his WWE name?
Drake Maverick.
If they came with a Drake Maverick figure that was like the old sweating figures, but it peed itself.
The maximum sweat.
The maximum.
Oh my
sweat,
god, those were the
maximum
worst.
urine. Yeah.
Okay, so if we're gonna talk maximum sweat on this show, remember those little bottles they came with?
Yes.
Yes.
I had a Triple H one.
You could screw the top off and put the water in, and then put the top on. Well, let's just say my brother, he played with a bottle that had pee, and he put pee on his maximum sweat figure of The Rock.
You peed in a maximum sweat figure?
In a maximum sweat bottle.
Wow. Can I just point out that Flip's a pretty dude?
He's got very peculiar eyebrows.
But he's pretty.
I wonder if he saw my sister-in-law again.
And I mean this in the sense that he is like this sort of face you could put as like a representative of the company.
Yeah.
He's a handsome fella.
He's a young, good-looking dude.
Yeah. He does
and he's
some
a good performer.
He has some cool shit. Has a good story. He can talk better than Sam Shaw, who has a similar like military-based story.
I have no idea who that is.
He NWA guy.
Cartoon. I was gonna
He's
say
working. He is. I mean, fuck. I'm gonna put this in a timestamp because depending on when we drop, either is working or has worked. Willie Mack for the NWA title, the Northern title or whatever it's called. Um, but I watched like a video package like him, and I'm like, this dude's boring as fuck and can't talk. They're just trying to sell him on his story of being a vet. And he worked at NWA. He worked TNA as well. He worked Impact. I think he did one of the.
He had this terrible, creepy stalker gimmick when he was in TNA too.
Yeah,
like I'm with you. I watch him on stuff, and I'm just like, this dude's just bad.
He's fucking jacked. He's got a great body, but that's where it ends. There's nothing else there from like a in-ring perspective or from like a promo work perspective. Whereas you got Flip, who's the veteran background as well. He's not a gassed up looking 250-pound dude, but he's got much more. I think he's much more sellable to the current generation with a veteran story as well.
And he works a lot like that flashy, flips and high spots type
Wrestling
stuff that
for
everybody's
gifts.
seen. Yes, thank you.
So that should
be a t-shirt.
Somebody needs to not a t. Yes, a t-shirt and a wrestling company, WFG Wrestling for Gifts.
I like it.
Somebody give me money, I'll start running a company because I don't have any.
Any rich dudes out there that want to money mark us?
They can money mark us, but we don't have to do any of the things.
They pay for everything. We write the storylines and book the characters. That's all.
We don't have to do any of the alleged Colorado Kid business, right?
No. Okay. We'll free and clear of that.
I don't want to burp Prentice, is what you're saying.
No, Bert Prentice. We could throw out one other name, but probably get us in trouble. But he's not paying the $11 a month, so.
I'll pretend you said NBC 10.
Correct.
So where did Flip come from?
I believe he was in Limitless Wrestling, which is in Maine.
Yeah, I know Limitless. Davey and Eddie worked there.
Brody King also from there.
Okay. Recent signee to Ring of Honor.
Yes. Oh, beautiful jumping springboard spear there by Flip Gordon. Gets 2 count.
So Zach, want to hear a good joke that was thrown at me? Speaking of recent signees to Ring of Honor.
Oh, this ought to be good.
The idea that PCO should debut as part of the top prospect tournament.
I love it. Book it. That would be fantastic.
The next top prospect tournament finals: PCO and Bully Ray.
Sounds like a box office smash. Just like that knee to the face from Dalton Castle.
So are there any Dalton Castle matches that you can recommend as somebody who has only seen the All-Star 7 match and the matches we've seen here and the one dark match I saw him wrestle in that meant nothing in Pittsburgh?
The Cabana match from Final Battle 2016, I believe.
Okay.
I will recommend...
He's a babyface. Cabana's a heel.
It's a more recent while he's still pretty hurt. Hey, Flip got the win.
And a really botched roll-up.
A roll-up! What a fucking shock.
Botched small package that turned into a roll-up.
5 matches. 5 complete matches on this show, not counting the clip job first round. 4 roll-ups.
Well, what's funny is I don't think any of the first round matches that they show clips of ended in a roll-up.
They all ended in finishes. The ones they show clips of.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, a Dalton Castle match that's more recent that I'd recommend. He did a tag match with Juice Robinson against Beer City Bruiser and Brian Malonis on that most recent Global Wars tour. I can't remember which show it was, but that match had me in stitches. Like, it was just a fun match. They did a bunch of comedy spots. It was pretty fun.
Do you think he's? I asked this because when I found out he won the Ring of Honor title, it kind of blew my mind because I knew what his gimmick was, and it shocked me. Do you think he's someone better suited to that sort of shit than he is to face the company world champion?
I think he can work in that role. He was limited because he was hurt, but he's one of those guys that he plays up the comedy, but like when he needs to turn it on and be serious, he can turn it on and be a little bit more serious. Like the Dalton Castle gimmick is still there, but he's a little bit more focused, a little bit more serious. So I think he would have worked as ROH champion if he wasn't so hindered by being hurt and beat up.
But then I look at somebody, and it's weird because I'm a fucking old man. I look at somebody like Nigel, who was, from my personal experience watching it firsthand, a million times worse than I get the impression Dalton Castle was, and he was still putting out fucking bangers of a match,
That's true, but also Nigel was surrounded by one of the greatest ROH talent pools. Like, that was probably one of my favorite eras of ROH, was around the time where like guys like Nigel and stuff were on the top, and now it's not quite.
Nigel was also upper body, bicep injuries.
Yeah.
Where Dalton was his entire, spinal cord.
Yeah, that's true. It's like I said, I ask questions when it's about this era that I am an alien to. So
well, here's a question: which one of these two buffoons is gonna beat the crap out of the other one harder?
Wait, that's a chain link. For a second, I thought Jay Briscoe brought back your anal beads.
No, he's not cool enough to wear the necklace.
Cool enough or loose enough?
You ran through the roster of all the greats to wear that necklace, and Austin Aries.
Hey, he's the greatest man to live.
Self-proclaimed. Apparently, they must be in rough waters because both men have jumped off the ropes and steadied themselves.
I want to get him on the show just so I can listen to the two of you.
Sources say he's doing a podcast with one of my former.
That's never gonna happen, and you know it.
Stranger things have happened. Not many, but stranger things.
Sorry, so my commentary is completely on mute. Has Mandy said a word? Because every time they cut at her, she's just nodding.
She's probably said a few things, but nothing insightful. She's not really adding much there.
You were here because of whose penis is inside you. No comments. Okay.
My favorite is when they tried to push her as a credible women's wrestler.
Yeah.
And
wait, she's not the one they built as the gatekeeper, right?
No, that's
that's Kelly. Yeah, Kelly Klein, BJ's.
Kelly Klein, okay, BJ's. All right, so
she's actually
hey.
Touche. She's actually pretty good though.
I agree.
She's an incredible performer.
Whoa, shit! Mark's starting hot.
Yeah, and these two guys are taking it to the seas after they took it to the streets.
They beat the shit out of each other. We know.
There will be no legs slapping here.
No. There's just punching a fucking face.
I have a feeling this is gonna be the best match on the show.
Yeah, I love that to the side, that flipping DVD, but I was terrified of it when Bobby Dempsey suggested doing it.
Oh God!
He wanted to do it as one of his moves. I was terrified.
Mark Briscoe looking at Jay on the outside for a dive, drop kicks him.
And it's one of those things.
Jay goes into the crowd. Mark finds a chair.
It's one of those things I've mentioned. That seems like a weird edit.
Yeah, that looked like a very weird jump cut edit to me.
Because Mark was in the ring and then suddenly he was picking up chairs.
There have been a couple of jump cuts.
Yeah.
Oh! Oh, he threw the chair at his head.
Sabu, motherfucker. The lights need to go out. We need a run-in.
I was gonna say, I don't think concussions count if they happen overseas, so I think we're good.
Yeah. So tell us this: is this a fun fact or not? Were you getting fines when people were getting hit in the head with chairs at any point?
No one ever got a fucking fine in Ring of Honor. When was that even put out there?
I've heard fairly recently that the chair shot to the head thing results in a $50 fine.
Maybe recently, but not in my day.
No, I think it would have been probably after you.
Yeah, I'd have to ask if that's a thing or if that's bullshit, but definitely never in my day. I mean, Christ. Yeah.
Oh, what a headbutt to.
Obviously, definitely not. Definitely, maybe it came after that ladder match you've talked to me about.
Yeah.
With Jay and Adam Cole.
Oh, was it? Yeah, it was Jay and Adam Cole.
I don't know. You just told me it was disgusting, and Nigel was at ringside, and there was all this blood and chair shots.
Nigel was disgusting enough to not say anything announcing the match right in front of me. Just couldn't even look at the ring.
I'd almost forgotten about that match. I feel like I need to go back and rewatch it now.
New Orleans WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
I think it was Adam Cole and Jay Briscoe.
Let's put that on the poll this year for WrestleMania weekend.
Oh, God.
Plus Phoenix.
No! Bird is now wearing a red shirt, so he looks like Mario.
Now he looks like Russo security. If he did that on purpose, that would be amazing. Like
Bird doesn't strike me as a video game guy.
Red for Mario one day and green for Luigi the other day. That would be absolutely amazing. But he was literally like the only person there from that.
Probably.
I mean, why not? He was the guy at All In too.
Well, and when there actually is an All In 2 and StarCast 2, hopefully making our way there.
Yeah, we will. We were too virginal for the first StarCast.
Very true.
We did not have Joe Feeney the first StarCast.
Great Joe Feeney. JFF, haha, WE, haha, NEY3RD on Twitter. And at the CC Network one. I didn't have to read that one.
You don't have that shit memorized by now.
I really don't.
You've taken, I don't know.
I mean, we're on concussion number 7 now. Who knows? By the time this airs, I might have gotten an 8.
I always look at it as how many concussions have been diagnosed.
7.
7? All right. Well, then you've had 7. I've only ever had 1 diagnosed, so I've only had 1.
Only 2 of the 7 were bad.
The other times that I think I had 1 don't count because they weren't diagnosed. Like DJ Hyde forming me in the temple, that doesn't count. It was never diagnosed. Jay teasing the spot that I wanted more than anything, that never happened.
Tell us more.
I always wanted, if Jay was ever to turn full-blown heel on Mark, to rip off the middle turnbuckle and do that facebuster gimmick into the middle turnbuckle. And Mark gets color and Jay just, that's the turn for Jay and Mark. Not, I want your belt turn, or we're just having a match. Like,
what sort of stupid nonsense is this? A splash through the chair.
That's some Jimmy Jacobs shit.
Yeah.
That's just Jimmy Jacobs.
And it came off a lot safer than I expected.
Well, Jimmy would do it like launching himself over the top rope to the floor.
Yeah. Like, it looked a lot safer because it wasn't Jimmy Jacobs doing it.
Yeah, and it wasn't, frequently with Jimmy, the person would move and he would just eat chair.
Is that CM Punk at ringside there?
The fuck are you talking about?
There's a guy, He's got like the shirt with the tattoos on it that they sold at Toys R Us with the wrist
Jesus.
tape.
Oh yeah, the like
the belt.
Halloween costume.
Yeah. Now, the first time I met Zach had his wrist taped like CM Punk.
Really now?
I did. Oh my god.
What show is that?
Dayton
Second
anniversary
anniversary show in Dayton, Ohio.
Third anniversary.
Third anniversary.
Third
So
anniversary.
AJ's return. AJ's return. Punk and AJ's return.
Punk and Ace against
Punk and Ace. You know,
BJ and Moff?
Maybe? Yeah.
Maybe.
Because that was the first
Yeah.
time the Punk wore the trunks
Wore the
instead of the
trunks.
gym
Yep.
shorts.
That was Punk's first trunks.
But-
Yep. Because
Yeah.
it was suggested to him by the same guy who said, maybe we'll make you the new Jeff Hardy and we'll start a new cruiserweight division and build it around you and have a new cruiserweight title tournament that you'll be in. You're very masculine. Your arms look great.
But yeah, I taped up my wrist. I had this dumbass idea that I did a half-ass CM Punk cosplay
Mm-hmm.
for going to my second Ring of Honor show because I was just so jacked to go to the show. I'm like, I want to do something fun.
Yeah,
And
it
for
was
some reason that popped in my head.
It was your second show?
Yeah,
What was
my first show was Gold in Dayton, Ohio.
Okay.
So it was the Dayton
Debut
show
of the
before.
Golden Vampire.
Mm.
Golden Vampire and Delirious against the Carnage Crew.
The main thing I remember from that first show that I went to, Gold in Dayton, was my buddies and I got lost because it was our first time doing a road trip like that. And so we got to the show late.
Look at that face
So
on Jay.
we missed the opening match.
Before the days of GPS.
Yeah, we were using the old school MapQuest directions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
I
driving
remember
the
those
truck
days.
were always fun. I did not wrestle on Gold. Davey did, but I did not. And that's Dave. That was the Golden Vampire Day. I'm pretty sure.
The main thing I remember about Gold is that was the night that I met Mick Foley for the first time, and it like wasn't part of the proper meet and greet. It was during one of the matches in the second half of the show. Like I hear this commotion behind me, and I turn around and look, and it's just like Mick Foley had popped out from
Oh,
behind the
shit.
curtain and was just like watching it.
Yeah.
And so like I went up
Sorry.
and talked to him for a minute, got a picture with him. Right before security realized that he got out and was like, "Mr. Foley, you gotta go backstage."
That would have been the Jaegers then, yeah. That was the iconoclasm, by the way.
Yes, thank you. I'm not good on move names.
Gold was also. Let me think. Was that the
That's
first
a
show in
vertical
Dayton?
suplex.
Was that the first show in Dayton after World Title Classic?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that was also the birth of the full-blown Pirates. Okay. Yeah. That's a show for when we. That's a random, useless story of no significance for when we talk about Gold, the full-blown Pirates. Yes, and that is an AIDS joke.
Ugh.
With Terra Charisma, Fisherman's Buster again.
Wow.
Mark
Well,
Briscoe
that-
has controlled the bulk of this
So-
match.
Coincidentally, that I'm talking about Gold and Davey Andrews and everything, that Busakai knee into the corner was something that Davey used to do.
Hmm?
Just weird coincidence timing.
By the way, if anybody on Patreon.com knows where Davey Andrews is, please let us know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna turn that into a milk carton shirt.
Yes, we should.
I'm gonna send one to Pelly in a child's large.
They just threw the broken ass chair
So-
at his head.
Essentially, we're working under New Japan Red Shoes rules, where
Yeah.
everything goes.
Jay
No-
Driller,
there's
and
no-
there's a cover
no-
one.
Because once again,
We got
Just
an
like-
actual
just like-
pinfall.
we did. Because just like Hogan must pose, Jay must pin Mark.
That's correct.
The day that Mark actually does beat Jay in a match, like the crowd better pop huge because
I don't know if it's gonna ever come. Like I feel
Well,
it's
besides
something necessary.
17 years ago.
Well, okay, so best
Yeah.
or
17 years ago.
in the
honor
modern era.
in this universe, the SBGROH PCO, the era of PCO.
I could not believe that. I saw that earlier today. I thought, wow, really?
Well, Billy Gunn fan told me on Twitter that was the story, and I didn't believe him because he's kind of a jokester sometimes, and no, it was legit, and I
Hey,
just hugged my hands.
looking at Billy Gunn, he'd be the one I sign next.
Yeah, I said it today on Twitter. He's in great shape. He's a hell of a dude. He can teach. He's better than fucking Bully Ray. And the Briscoes hug it out.
And yeah, I never heard bad words about Billy Gunn, like I've been told about Bully Ray in the past.
Tell you what, I was around Billy Gunn when he did AIW 2 years ago. He is one of the biggest human beings.
Oh my God, he's huge.
He's just large, and he is such a nice, like soft-spoken, very funny kind of guy. And it's light again, apparently.
The next day,
It's now 2 days later,
Jay Lethal's rolling without a shirt.
and here comes Jimmy Briscoe again, and Bird is in a new costume. He's Waluigi this time. There's the Macho Man.
I will say, like, I'm not usually the type of guy that comments on like the size of wrestlers today or anything like that, but I am glad that by this point in the tournament, that large security guard is not walking out in front of the wrestlers, blocking them from view. That was not a good look for those first few matches.
No, it was not. I'm very curious to see what they're gonna have Jay Briscoe do here. Is this the finals?
Yeah, it's against.
This is the finals. Jay Briscoe, Flip Gordon.
This and then the Alpha Club versus the Omega Club or whatever they called it.
The Y2 Jacksons.
Yes.
I think the official name for the team was Bucks of Jericho, or is it Y2 Jackson? Like that entire long ass thing was the name of the team.
That would have been a wonderful fit for PWG.
Yeah. Well, pretty soon, the Elite will be back in PWG. So.
Hey, there's a Macho Man.
Yeah.
I think
and somebody had a Chucky doll.
Accused of being Jeff Jones this entire time is just the guy in the Macho Man costume.
And I think I just saw somebody in Hulk Hogan cosplay.
I did catch the playing watch that shirt is always fun.
There he is. He's got a blue shirt on this time.
I got the Fight Owens fight shirt in the crowd this time. Here we go. Flip with your pants. Do it. Yeah.
Go fuck yourself, Flip Gordon. I don't care about you. And he's hammering away with boots to the face. Todd Sinclair, very angry that he's stuck wearing pants. Not that Jay Briscoe is breaking all records.
Finn Balor do with pink hair, a little bit of everything on this cruise.
That's a girl. That's a female.
No. There's a next to somebody in Finn Balor face paint. There's a guy with a pink hair wig on. Like I see the purple hair girl in the front row.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I see the lady now with Finn Balor. Soon to be free agent Finn Balor.
I wonder what matches, if any, Jay
Japan
Lethal
Wrestling.
worked this weekend.
I don't know.
That's a good question.
I never saw reports or results. I wonder what kind of Wi-Fi or anything they had on the ship.
Macho Man in the front row.
The only
Another
person I
Macho
know with a
Man.
phone decided it belonged in the ocean, not in their pocket. So
Reptiles.
Hold on. Finn Balor, free agent.
Yeah, in January.
So he's gonna go to New Japan and instead
I'm
of
sure he'll take WWE's money, but
I'm just gonna call it MWGA instead of MAGA. Make wrestling gaijin again.
yes. I didn't know where you were going with that. That's the first.
Whew.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a second, I was kind of scared too. I'm like, where? Oh my word!
Any reference to that just creeps me out. You know, I'll tell the story.
Well, I mean, it's hard to argue that point when it comes to New Japan. Sometimes
No.
that it's like, let's make wrestling white people again.
Yeah. Well, they got a Hawaiian.
Yeah.
Cobb.
Yeah.
And a Canadian, whatever Michael Elgin is. Although I don't know why he works there.
Because New Japan doesn't care about things like, well, never mind.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I will say, the one thing that popped in my head after.
Oh, there's a guy cosplaying as the little monkey that got kicked off the apron.
Is that the same little monkey that Dragon Gate abused?
Oh, look, he's in blue, right? The bottom left-hand corner of the screen.
Oh.
You know what? I think I caught a glimpse of him too, and that's
monkey.
sidetracked me from my thought. I was going to say we kept talking about ROH signing PCO. The one match I want to see from PCO and ROH is PCO Jeff Cobb because I want to see if Cobb can give him the tour of the islands. Give me that visual, and I'm good.
Can he get Bubba Ray Dudley up? Because that would be just as physically impressive.
No, he could get it up with Blue Chew.
That's right. Promo code Honor. Free Blue Chew. Jay Briscoe is just a scary-looking guy, and he couldn't be a nicer human being.
So my viewing apparatus took a freeze, and I have no idea where I'm at relative to the two of you anymore.
Jay Briscoe just forearmed.
Give me a time stamp to go on here.
We are at 138. 9,
I'm at
10, 11, 12.
Cool. 1 second ahead of you. 1 minute. Here we go. I'm gonna double down.
All right.
Let's see. I'm at 138.26, so I'm
when you get to a double
a
down.
little bit ahead of Jeff.
No, you're right on me, Zach. You're good. Drop kick off the top there from Flip. Another odd camera cut.
I wonder if they fucked with this in post. I wonder if they fucked with this in post at all. Besides the things we've noticed.
Like they had to have a little bit.
Obviously, the hey, it's daytime and it's nighttime.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if they had to edit any of the commentary.
I don't know. Cabana's not a drinker.
No.
I don't.
So it's not like.
But occasionally he'll say things that will just. They'll come from Scott as opposed to
Jesus.
Cole.
Jay just beating the fuck out.
Yeah.
And oh my god, a fucking whatever back kick, Dragon Gate kick to the dick.
You're way ahead. I haven't seen a kick to the dick yet. Or as Uncle Steve would say, a kick to the ding ding.
So 141.
You're at 141?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're like 2 minutes ahead.
How the fuck did I get that far ahead? God damn, my stupid apparatus. All right, well, spoiler alert, there's a kick to the dick coming up about 140.
Good to know.
Yeah.
We are right at the 140 mark right now for those playing along at home. And,
the fun part of syncing up 3 different viewing apparatuses.
Honestly, I'm impressed that it took us
this
this long into the show to get off track.
Yeah. Just say kick to the dick.
Just saw Flip come off the ropes, nailed Jay Briscoe in the head. The crowd's into it. Some polite applause.
You get the Matrix spot and then a kick to the dick, and then we're on the same page.
still waiting for this kick to the dick. Todd Sinclair looking very engaged. This better be the greatest dick kick.
It's the Dragon Gate TNA kick to the dick.
Just imagine if whoever receives said dick kick is a part of BlueChew.com subscription promo code Honor.
It happened at about 1:41:30. So
we got another 30 seconds to go. We've got our trading of forearms and European uppercuts here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Jay Briscoe just not pulling any punches.
Matrix spot, kick to the dick.
Oh, there it is, kick to the dick.
See?
And there's the spear. That awesome springboard spear from Flip Gordon.
You know, in the 3 Flip Gordon matches we've seen, we've hit the Star Spangled Stunner.
That's true.
Got to save it for the big match. This is the match to bust it out.
I'm assuming that's going to be the finish. Yeah. S. Triple S. S to the third.
S to the third power. You know, math.
Mm-hmm. See?
Just got it up top. No.
Can't take him the dick here.
Punches to the ribs by Flip Gordon.
Sunset flip by Flip doesn't connect.
Oh, but he kicked him under the legs. Jay Briscoe crotches himself on the middle rope. And we're going to drop kick Jay Briscoe in the back of the nuts.
Better than in the ding-ding.
That's true.
Jay's like, fuck your mother.
Jay Briscoe.
And everybody's down.
Not exactly selling a word of that. And just hit suplex. And now both are down. Todd Sinclair, by the way, has not really moved more than about 5 inches.
Oh, I think that's the hallmark of a good referee.
I was going to say, give the man a break. He's on a vacation. He's on a freaking cruise.
They should have had him ref in like a Laurel Beach shirt. Big boot to the face from Jacobs.
I would have had him referee and let him wear shorts while he referees. I would have allowed that. I would have let that be as a pass.
Yeah.
As opposed to previous shows where I'm just like, this fucking referee.
You know he's got to be hot as balls refereeing in those dress pants.
Yeah, especially for somebody who wears shorts 360 days out of the year.
You're giving him 5 days of pants?
Yeah, those 5 days are just underwear.
Those are the days where he doesn't leave the house.
Those days are free ball and free ball.
Oh my!
Listen, I've heard a Todd Sinclair date story and a Todd Sinclair free balling reference.
I know.
Combination.
Dude, like this is well past the day of C-ball, or you'd hear me singing C-ball.
That is not a Tom Petty reference I really need stuck in my head as a guy that's a classic rock radio DJ that plays Tom Petty quite frequently.
Driller.
When you play Mary Jane's Last Dance for the 700th time a day, that's what.
No, we actually play Free Fallin', so that's when I'm going to be thinking of it. I'm going to be sitting there in the studio going free ballin'.
You could literally be sitting in the studio free balling, and not many people would know at home.
Yes, but unfortunately, my company has a dress code, so I do have to wear like khaki pants and stuff. So I have to dress decent.
Wow.
Or a chef with Mark Briscoe and I believe Mrs. Mark Briscoe next to her. Can you imagine all the kids that are on this cruise? The Briscoe children, the Young Bucks kids. I believe.
It'd be amazing if they took all of them.
They did.
They did?
Yes.
How many kids does Chris have now?
2?
So much for the idea that your semen stops working at 80.
Yeah.
Wow.
Flip Gordon picks up the win.
And it wasn't even a roll-up.
No.
And it was not. Was that the Star Spangled Stunner?
Yeah.
Or that was just a diamond cutter?
Was not the Star
Yeah, the
Spangled
Star.
Stunner that I would have.
No, the Star Spangled Stunner when he does it, there's a little bit more
Flips.
flip to it. Yeah, like I was trying to think
Seriously?
of a
He
way
has
to
a
say
flip.
it. Like,
He has a flip into a stunner like fucking Ember Moon.
Yes, basically.
kinda, yeah. Not exactly the same way that she does it, but it's kind of a springboard into a stunner type thing, if I'm remembering it correctly. But yeah, that was not the Star Spangled Stunner.
Really surprised though. I mean, I get flash pinning Jay Briscoe because he never does
Well-
jobs, but
Well, it has to be a flash pin. It's Ring of Honor. Nobody can be beat clean and decisively, I guess. Like, if I had to judge that on this tournament, nobody can be beat clean and decisively except for Mark Briscoe and Cheeseburger.
correct.
Everyone is a flash pin roll up
By the way, Bird had a beard
sort of thing.
and handed it to Flip.
So, the Sea
Let's
of Honor.
go back to the Sea of Honor graphic.
All right.
So Flip Gordon wins the Sea of Honor tournament,
And
earning
thus,
himself a
got
Ring of
a
Honor World
title
title
shot.
match. Mhm.
And now we skip to a different day, I assume, because now it is daytime, is nighttime, and SoCal Val, who vaguely resembles my high school girlfriend, when she was younger as well, is now in a different wardrobe.
Colt Cabana joined
Hell,
by
there's Ian.
Ian.
No, that's Scott D'Amore.
Oh, it is
Scott D'Amore and
What
Don
the
Callis in
fuck?
full-on captain gear.
I'm so confused by this existence
He
of.
does look like fat Ian Riccaboni though.
He does. He does, but
That gray, I
basically-
think that's gray and not blonde.
I'm so confused by this right now.
like that's
Don?
what gave it away that it wasn't Ian Riccaboni was I'm looking at him thinking he's too fat to be Ian Riccaboni.
I'm so confused by the existence of this commentary team.
Why is Don Callis dressed as a cat?
I have to potty break before this match starts because I'm dumbfounded. I'll be right back
Okay.
from our live.
Marty
All right,
Skrull,
well.
Marty Skrull apparently went to the Bahamas while he was waiting to resume action.
I have a feeling it's going to be a thing. Like everybody's going to walk out wearing their Nassau Bahamas shirts. They can be like, "Hey, look, we went to the Bahamas, guys."
Looks good for TV purposes.
Now the real question: did they all get the exact same Nassau Bahamas shirt, or did they all get different tie-dye patterns?
Oh, that's a great question.
Like, are they going to be a truly matching team, or are they all just going to clash with each other here?
I don't know. I mean, they are part of the Bullet Club and the Elite.
I will say I am disappointed that we're not going to see the Impact versus Bullet Club match simply because of the outfits that the Bullet Club match wore for that match against the Impact guys, because that's the match where they all dressed up as Mario characters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Cody in a Nassau Bahamas t-shirt.
Oh, yep. We're going to have the team apparently all wearing the Nassau Bahamas gear.
This looks like a really fun atmosphere. I hope they do this again someday. There's a blow-up doll.
Dressed up as Nick Jackson.
That is the creepiest thing I have seen of all time. And I just saw Cyrus in a captain's outfit.
I actually cannot wait for the final shows of the New Japan World Tag League because I want to hear that commentary team of Kevin Kelly, Don Callis, and Excalibur.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. Very exciting. I'm looking very much forward to it. I've got a little bit more to watch of day 6. I think that's where I'm at now.
I am
Watching,
so far behind. I figured that I'll just jump in on the finals. I hate to be that fan, but unfortunately the radio schedule keeping me too busy to keep up with the shows as much as I would like.
Yeah, and it's nice to just put it on in the background as I work. So I can pretend that I actually watched in detail, but really I'm just listening. Patiently listening.
And now here comes Kenny
And
Omega, and
Kenny,
he's got the Nassau tank top.
Kenny has a Nassau tank top that looks exactly like Marty's. Oh, whose side is Cody on?
Will you stop?
Oh, that's a good Heenan reference. I didn't think of that.
Well, you said whose side is he on, and that was one of the greatest Heenan lines of all time.
It was totally not my intention, but yeah, I would go with it. Kenny Omega is just such an interesting performer. It would be a real shame if he were to be taken away from us in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, he is so much fun to watch. I think one of the things I like about Kenny Omega, one of the reasons why he is one of my favorite wrestlers, is because of how versatile he is. Like, I'm sure in this match there's going to be some goofy spots. He can do that, but he can also put on like the classics and put on like these just fantastic matches. Like, he really is like the all-tool player, like the guy that can do just about anything you throw at him and do it well.
Yeah, he would be the baseball equivalent to a 5-tool player.
Yeah.
Somebody that I can't imagine being as good and as successful as he is if he went to the company based out of Stamford, Connecticut, along with these two guys as they walk to the ring, the Young Bucks. There you see Papa Nick Nasty, or Papa Matt, whatever Young Buck's dad's name is.
I think they just call him Papa Buck.
Papa Buck.
You'd think they'd be able to give him a better spot than they're on the guardrail in the entryway.
Unless that was somebody cosplaying as Papa Buck.
Yeah, it might have just been a Papa Buck look-alike.
I mean, there are so many people cosplaying as different things on this show. It's quite the interesting world here.
I just can't get over the visual. This show just looks fantastic. Like the venue's unique. I like the lights being in the background there of the camera when they show the stage going off and everything. Like, if I had one change that I would make is I would have figured out a way to have the wrestlers come from the stage that Fozzy performs on instead of from the random back room.
Yes, 100%.
Like, that just looks weird.
It looks low rent, and this is definitely not a low budget operation. We're getting ready for the entrance of the man of the hour on this here boat, the true captain of the ship, the Millennium Man, the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla,
Yeah, we were talking earlier about how the Briscoes kept reinventing themselves. I mean, Jericho is a guy that he's done the same thing. Like, he keeps finding ways to change it up and
he's better.
Keep himself relevant.
To me, there's 3 Jerichos that stand above the rest. There's present day Jericho, and I think it's just because he's not part of the WWE.
Oh, look, he's wearing the Bucks gear.
Yeah, he's got the Young Bucks gear on. But I like the free Jericho. I'm a big fan of debut Jericho in the WWF, 99. And WCW Conspiracy Theory Jericho.
Oh, that was a great run.
Jericho's eye is really fucked up here. Apparently he fell night 1 of the bus or the boat trip here, and banged his face up pretty good while performing.
When's the last time we saw Jericho in long tights? Like, proper long tights like this? Like, it's been a minute.
5? The Shawn Michaels feud? Or did he have short tights for that?
No, he had... It'd be 2008, because 2008 was the Michaels feud, and that's when he debuted the short trunks, was in the middle of that feud, because he was still wearing the Save Us Y2J stuff up until the feud with Michaels started. So, yeah, like mid-2008.
Wow. So a decade.
Apparently, they're harassing Don Callis because I can hear him keep yelling, "What's wrong with you?" I can't get over that announce team combination: Colt Cabana, Scott D'Amore, and Don Callis.
What a unique trio, and I don't know why Scott D'Amore is there. We couldn't have found somebody
Trying
else.
to represent the Impact guys. Like, he was probably there for the
Oh,
Impact
yeah, I guess
matches,
that makes sense.
and then they were like,
See,
"Hey, you want to call this main event?"
See, and to me, that's kind of where, at this point, like, the Impact brand means nothing. New Japan and ROH have a good relationship. Why not just combine all your forces?
Yeah.
Canada, America, Japan, you have CMLL from Mexico, Rev Pro in the UK. That's a force to be reckoned with.
I'm back. Give me a timestamp so I can catch up.
At 1:56:30. 31, 32, 33, 34.
Yeah, I feel like for a guy that does sports commentary for a living, I've done like next to no commentary tonight, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I've done enough of it the last couple of days.
Well, for those out there that listen to the Tony Schiavone What Happened When podcast, he doesn't do any commentary either. He'll call a move every once in a great while, but it's just
That's true.
Conrad bullshitting, and it's quite frankly the most entertaining 2 hours of the week.
Oh my God, they've brought me to tears so many times.
I really
go in Young Bucks gear.
Yeah, complete with headband.
He's a sexy beast.
Look at that. Just looks like he's just having at it.
Rocking that dad bod.
Yeah, for sure.
I wish my fucking dad bod looked like his.
You got 3 months or 2 months.
Yeah.
Well, there's a visual that I'm not going to be able to get rid of tonight. Thank you, Shane.
Let me go back into hiding now.
Jericho's eye completely messed up, as we mentioned before, from probably being intoxicated and falling. Oh, we have our own sexy party.
Well, when did this
Stealing
happen versus
Bryan Danielson's
his
gimmick.
appearance?
Cody obviously not paying attention to what everybody else on his team is doing. He completely forgot the hip swivel. Come on, guys. Where's the unity?
That's Scott D'Amore. And Cyrus and Cabana. It's complicated.
That is such a weird combination.
And a Ring of Honor show.
Yeah. Colt Cabana stealing some tie-dyed shirts right there. Probably available at ProWrestlingTees.com. Right now.
Colt Cabana, the godfather of 1 hour tees.
Yes, he is. And the code of honor is not observed.
Denied.
I have to look at this and see.
No, it's observed between Nick Jackson and Todd Sinclair.
I was going to say, kudos to Todd Sinclair for not leaving Nick just hanging there. Like,
in the entire
way to step up.
Y2 Jackson, or is it Young Bucks of Jericho, or whatever they're called?
Bucks of Jericho, or is it Y2 Jackson? They actually put that on a shirt too, like,
and probably made $100,000 selling it.
Oh, easily. It was available in Hot Topic, I think. It was. I'm sure it was a big seller.
I'm so
confused. A while
confused.
since I have stopped in the mall at our Hot Topic to see what sort of Bullet Club related t-shirts
Except
they have.
when you went there to get that one shirt.
I got the SCU shirt.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So that I can wear it to Florida when I go visit my family. Tell them the truth about where they live. It's a horrible place.
I watch New Japan on the regular, and this match still confuses me.
Oh, Cody is middle fingering all the people that are going to have to go pay for All Elite Wrestling on.
Cody with the WWE toe kick that we have talked about before that makes no contact
Yes.
and looks awful before the awesome Goldust tribute.
Yes. Which, by the way, am I the only one clamoring for a Dustin Rhodes indie run?
No, I want to.
Oh heck no! I'd be all in on that.
That same WrestleMania weekend that I mentioned when we did the Go Shiozaki tag match for this. I also have a Dustin Rhodes encounter from that weekend in Florida. Very brief, but yeah.
Dustin is the only member of the Rhodes family in wrestling that I have not had the pleasure of meeting.
Whereas Cody is the only one I have not met.
I unfortunately have not met any of them yet, so I can't recount tales of meeting the Rhodes family.
There's nothing like seeing a bloody Dusty Rhodes sitting in his underwear next to Ian Rotten. Well, you're not even getting paid a hot dog.
I have had interactions with Ian Rotten a couple of times. I kind of wish I hadn't.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
I hope you showered afterwards.
Thankfully, they were only in passing. There was a run there where me and my buddy Nathan, Jeff knows him, we went to several Indianapolis IWA Mid-South shows in a row until they got kicked out of the venue for being idiots. Yeah, which one? I know.
Like time frame. Like when was
God,
when?
Like 05. Like when they were booking like the big indie names, like they'd have Davey Richards come in for a show or guys like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, like 05, 06, like when they were still like relevant.
Yeah. The time frame during.
There's the blow up doll that's a Dick Jackson.
The time frame during and after I was willing to do that drive for nonsense.
Nick Jackson thinks of the blow up doll that looks exactly like him.
I'd be flattered.
And I wonder what the person is like that owns said blow up doll and what they said when they're taking that thing through customs.
You are raising more questions, Jeff, about this blow-up doll than I would really care to think about the answers to.
Customs just had to refer to it as a blow-up doll, not your blow-up doll.
Well, like I wondered, did they decorate it before or after they got there? Like maybe they had all the stuff in the bag and decorate it once they got on the cruise.
Great question. Clearly,
See, now you got me thinking about this, Jeff.
Was it not blown up until it got on the ship?
The logistics of a blow-up doll, and the other
Kenny
thing,
Omega in the ring.
The other thing I must wonder is how have the Young Bucks not marketed a blow-up doll yet? How have they not?
Get out of the way, security guard.
How have they not made a blow-up doll part of their Hot Topic merchandise?
Do they sell that stuff at Hot Topic?
I think that's a little too. I think that's a little too hardcore for the tweener crowd that Hot Topic tries to get. Maybe if they had a deal with Spencer's Gifts, they could do that.
Yeah, I've bought many a fake poop at Spencer's Gifts over the years. Put it in random places. Including under the couch at my parents' house.
I bought many a poop myself. They were called IWA Mid-South DVDs.
Oh!
It's all right. It only went to support Ian Rotten's crack habit, allegedly. Or meth. Probably meth.
Allegedly.
I can't believe that company is still around. They ran the Ted Petty Invitational in Indianapolis a couple of months back, but I couldn't go because I had a scheduling conflict.
It's amazing. My only theory is that the only reason people are willing to work for Ian, even still to this day, is because he plays the old man card wonderfully. Well, I paid them to advertise on the local TV stations, but they didn't do it. I don't know why. They just didn't do it. They should give any fucking money. Maybe.
I want to
I
see
may be
Ian
green as
Rotten.
fucking goose shit, Ian, but I'm not that stupid.
I want to see Ian Rotten, Jim Cornette, Austin Aries, Sammy Callahan in the same room. See what
You
happens.
know what? Ian probably owes all of them money.
So he won't show up.
I feel like there's enough anger between the four of them.
There's no anger at Ian. It's just that I'm
No,
sorry.
Ian definitely
sorry.
doesn't like Jim Cornette because Cornette got him kicked out of Louisville.
I'm sorry, Jim. I know I promised you, some kielbasa, but all I could afford were these basic hot dogs, these ballpark franks.
I know
I
you
asked
made
the
nachos.
grocery store. I asked the grocery store, Hillshire Farms, but this is all they had. I don't know what happened.
Let's be real. Ian Ryan couldn't even afford to have ballparks at the hot dog. He's got whatever the cheap brand is.
Store brand.
Yeah, store brand. Buy it in bulk from like
Sam's
local
Club
food service, Sam's Club. Yeah.
with food stamps.
I'm gonna point out that the way that Cody Rhodes acts, Alex Payne was doing it for several years before Cody Rhodes.
Oh, I get that vibe.
Literally for years before Cody Rhodes went on the Indies, Alex Payne was doing the same thing with naturally blonde hair, and the same lisp. It's just such a weird thing, and I bust Alex's balls for that all the time. Also, Alex was doing several of things that Dean Ambrose does as a character before Dean Ambrose was on TV.
But did it make sense and actually work?
As the American Psycho, Alex Payne, yes.
Yes. Because Dean Ambrose as Dean Ambrose doesn't work.
No, but
he's awful.
As the latter days of John Moxley getting stabbed in the face 1,700 times by Homicide's fork.
Well, Homicide tried to cut out his tongue or something, or vice versa.
It was the early. He did the thing that put Evolve on the map in the early days.
Yep.
Of Evolve.
Well, it's no Drano.
No, it's not. Man, I can't wait till the final battle. And I can talk about ripping off Kenta on a show with Kenta.
We've got Kenny Omega in the ring there with Nick Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenny is not really doing a whole lot, saving his body for the Tokyo Dome. Tanahashi.
Why is it weird that I'm annoyed that that's the match for the Tokyo Dome?
No, because I think it's terrible too.
It's gonna be a great match, but in terms of I don't know.
I guess because and Ibushi.
I guess because they pissed away the Ibushi thing in the 3-way.
Ibushi and Omega is the match, unless they do that at Madison Square Garden. I don't know.
Yeah, I do. Point. I'm in the same boat. I think that Kenny Omega Tanahashi is going to be a banger, but it's just weird that how we got to that match. I'm digging the way the Wrestle Kingdom card is looking so far. I think it's going to be an enjoyable show, but it's just weird that that's the match we get to as the main event.
Yeah, it wasn't my choice. That's for sure. And I love Tanahashi, but oh, what are we setting up for here? Cody Rhodes channeling the spirits of Goldust.
Gonna shatter some dreams.
God, I wish Dustin had an indie run.
Oh, all right, that was actually pretty good.
Oh, but Nick makes a comeback here. He's up on the second rope. He's free and clear.
I just still find this so weird.
Crossbody.
I still find this entire match so weird in the context of New Japan. They're still all on the same team.
This is this weird, all the universes collided and exploded. With just remnants.
That was actually one of my favorite descriptions I ever came up with for PWG, because somebody was asking me like what the deal is with PWG, and I'm like, basically, it's like if the wrestling multiverse came together, like that is where PWG is, because you got all these different guys from different companies with different gimmicks, and since they only do a DVD product, politics really isn't around as much, so everybody can just be themselves.
PWG is pre-crisis DC.
Yeah.
Jeff's absolutely, 100%. Agreed.
We just went completely over Jeff's head.
Well, if we're going to talk about DC, we're going to talk about how I'm excited for the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah,
it's my only point of reference.
Okay.
Lion Salt on Marty Skrull.
So, here's a thought I have watching this match.
What the fuck?
What does the face of Ring of Honor look like when 4 of these people are potentially gone after in 2019?
PCO.
No, seriously. What does the business look like for Ring of Honor when 4 out of the 6 guys in this match, 4 of the guys you have really built around the last several years, are gone?
So take all the money you made for the last 2 years and then cut it in half.
Titus.
Yeah, give it to Red Titus, as far as I'm concerned. Push him to the moon. Oh, a triple sharpshooter and a double sharpshooter and a Walls of Jericho.
Well, it's one of those things I think about when I think about the current Ring of Honor product, just because knowing what we lived through with the Noah and the Dragon Gate talent in 2005, 6, 7, like, it made a huge difference. And we didn't have those people. It made a huge difference. And that's why we pushed Sinclair to maintain or rebuild at that point a relationship with Noah.
I really hope they don't go
they had
way.
And they had absolutely no interest in doing it at that point. So it's one of those things I always wonder about, like what the face of Ring of Honor looks like without the Elite.
I don't know. I hope they don't go the opposite and take a bunch of the Mexican talent that have come in. Really don't have any interest in that.
I mean, I think you start to see guys like Jonathan Gresham get pushed a little bit more, and they got Tracy Williams coming around now.
Yeah.
Zack Sabre
Jr. Making his debut Final Battle weekend, and they literally just signed Jeff Cobb. Honestly, it looks almost like, if you look at stuff like that, it looks almost like they're getting ready for the rebuild. Like, you're locking down Jonathan Gresham, you're getting Tracy Williams, you're getting Jeff Cobb and stuff. Like, those are going to be the guys that you kind of push and build around in the future. And you still got Lethal around.
It's the build.
Yeah.
That's a scary thought, because they're going to lose a lot of their revenue. Think of the merchandise revenue.
That's the part of it that I think about. Like, it's the build. I get that, obviously, because of, look at everything we lost in 2007, 2006, 2005. Punk gone. Joe gone. Anybody who worked for TNA gone. And I get it. But, man, it's a tough thing.
It's unfortunate that Ring of Honor has gotten complacent.
Well, I don't get the impression from what I read, because, as I've said a million times, I haven't watched much, obviously, besides the All-Star 7, what we're watching now. But from the things, a lot of the results I read, I don't feel like anybody's even been built up.
No, there hasn't been.
To be in that place, as opposed to, Punk was gone and Aries was already in that spot and being built into that spot. And I mean, we lucked out with Gibson being available to us and Brian coming back at the right time. And we had
if anything, it feels like their guys have been minimized because of the Elite. Guys that could have some value mean nothing.
Do you think that's why they went to Jay for a second time?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I mean, Silas Young could have been a champion. He's a big piece. And I think you'll see him featured more now that he's got a 3-year contract.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the younger guys, like an Adam Page, even though he's going to be gone, could have been a guy to fill in that spot. But I mean, you've got a serious empty hole between all the guys that went to NXT, all the guys that are going to wherever they're going. And, they're going to have to figure out something with maybe New Japan will send guys over.
2K one bomb with a super kick and then another super kick.
I should be like Steve Corino here, yo. Super kick!
That's a super kick, a 2K one bomb neck breaker, and then another super kick.
Super kick!
What's awesome is Jericho's done fucking nothing in this match.
Right.
We saw him do a lion salt at one point.
Yeah.
Like that's the most he did, but he did a lion salt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, let's be honest. The real winner in this match is Cole Cabana, who's done 5 days worth of work and taking no bumps.
Yes.
Very true. Unless he worked a match that like we didn't see, because I'm assuming that there were probably several more matches that we did not see that didn't air on this, besides like the Impact versus ROH stuff. But like they had to have done more.
I would assume because Jay Lethal's shirtless and sweaty, unless he's just shirtless and sweaty from being in a cruise. I actually saw Fozzy in concert once.
I'm supposed to in March.
Yeah, they played at the
I wanted to see Fozzy. They did a show in Indy several months back, but I had to call a high school football game that night. I couldn't go. That's the only downside to this time of the year. Got high school football, then high school basketball. So my Fridays and sometimes my Saturdays are pretty well booked up until March.
Yeah, they played, I believe, 9 state championship football games in one stadium over the last 4 days. Right here in town. On one field.
Yeah, I think Indiana's up to 6 classes now. So they did 3 one day and then 3 the next day. Super kick!
Cabana's even getting into it on commentary with super kicks. Got subtitles on my screen. Super kick, super kick, super kick. Unless that's Don Callis.
So in terms of announcers, we have Ring of Honor, New Japan, and TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Assisted Meltzer driver?
No, it's Indy Taker. He didn't flip.
Indy Taker into the
Walls of
Jericho.
No, that's definitely Walls of Jericho. No, that's a Walls of Jericho.
Yeah, Lion Tamer's the knee in the back.
Lion Timer, as I said, on your fucking head.
Just roll the dice or whatever in the hell he calls it.
Crossroads.
Disaster kick. Do a super kick.
They call that the low-key concussioner.
Poison Rana from Kenny.
Why is it a poison Rana?
I don't know.
And not just a reverse Rana.
The walls of Jericho are locked in.
Can somebody break the walls down?
Kenny Omega.
Gorbachev.
And here comes Nick Jackson in flip. Oh! Now Todd Sinclair is choosing to enforce the rules.
Then there's our Lion Tamer.
Yes.
That was how I always looked at the differences.
Umbrella to the back.
Lion Tamer, he sat on your fucking head.
Yeah, Lion Tamer's with the knee in the back. Walls of Jericho is basically just a Boston Crab.
Yeah.
WWE eyes it. Safing it up. Kenny Omega selling like a champ here. He's got a 1 hand, 2, and no. Jericho out at 2.
Oh, yeah. No.
Jackson right next to the ball.
I'm curious about what the people on this cruise got. Like
A lot
they
of
got the
wrestling.
wrestling shows. They got a few
got
like
some
the shows, but I
concerts.
just mean like food and drink and yada yada yada.
I think everything was there was like pricing tiers based on what you paid for. Maybe we can get booked
Maybe
for this
kick.
thing next year.
Jericho's still doing this in a year. That'd be amazing.
Well, he said he wants to make it an annual thing, and that they sold out all the cabins, so the company was happy with him.
Look at Kenny selling like a champ. Can't even do the one-winged angel.
That's that spot right there is more than he's sold for one single second in New Japan.
Oh, start a riot.
Yeah.
He's a gaijin. He doesn't need to sell. There's the knee to the face. And another V trigger. Yes, indeed.
Or as I like to call it now, the most popular spot on the Indies.
And that is it. Your winners, the Bullet Club / Elite, whatever's / Omega
Club / Omega Club /
Mega Rhodes.
Wow.
Scholars. Villains.
I gotta say though, like, it's not often you see finishers that are super protected anymore, but the one-winged angel is like the one that still is, because I can't think of anybody kicking out of that move.
No,
because like
Okada never did.
Yeah, because Okada, the only thing he'd ever do is like maybe reach the ropes because of bad positioning or something like that. But yeah, he never actually kicked out of it. So like that's the one move that's still protected in the wrestling world is the one-winged angel.
Now this normally at this point in the night would be where everybody starts heading for the exits, but they're on a boat, so they're fucked.
Yep. Sorry.
Man, the lifeboats.
Y'all gotta sit there.
Well, no, I see some people leaving. They're probably like,
They're
all
like,
right, well, show's over. Go back to our cabin now. Yeah, go to the bar.
Cabin, go to the bar.
Unless, you know, Beer City Bruiser drank them dry. But
that was a fun match.
Yeah. It was unique. It was a whole unique venue, a situation I could do without walking out that door, as Zach and I talked about earlier.
Yeah, well, you were gone. Jeff and I were talking about like the one thing we would change about this show is we would have tried to figure out a way for everybody to come out from that stage where Fozzy performs instead of coming out from that random back room.
Or at least like have some sort of entryway built. Like you can throw some fucking curtains there.
Well, no, because they're on the sea because it might have blown away.
What about
the
the
safety
curtains
hazard
from Wayne and Mary of Wayne and Mary?
Those were our curtains, but they still could have like done something there to just kind of like make something, you know.
What about those silver curtains? That would have been cool. Jericho's eye is disgusting.
It is rough.
It's just makeup.
No, he fell.
Nah. I don't believe it. It's a work.
And that's Chris Jericho here.
Oh my god.
Promo. He's in Don Callis' captain's costume.
All right.
He's saying right now, I know I'm a 72-year-old man. God damn it. Next year when I do this, you better be on this fucking boat. I promise you. I promise you next time we'll have an entrance curtain. And not be 72.
We will book the team from an honorable pod. Everybody gets a +1.
There will not be 72 roll-ups. And I promise you, I will not book any teams that I then have to pull off because they're not allowed to do jobs. And then I write a Facebook post about how they're not allowed to do jobs. So I have to cancel the tournament.
Gee, I wonder what you could possibly be referencing. in the world of wrestling today?
Abe Jablonski?
Yeah, that guy.
Who? You know, it's funny. You know, you think about it. We've seen wrestling in a tent. We've seen it at the fairgrounds. We've seen it at a country club. Now we've seen it on a boat.
Yep. Now we just need to do some of those shows from Montreal that were in the dirt.
I'm actually disappointed nobody walked out to Lonely Island. I'm on a boat.
Or nobody rocked out to Sail.
Oh yeah, Sail Away.
No, Sail.
Sail?
Sail.
I don't know that one.
Sail.
There's like a million Beach Boys songs they could have come out to.
Nobody likes the Beach Boys but you.
Hey, America's band, okay? Get one thing straight.
You're the only person who got excited when Sirius had a Beach Boys again.
It's true. I never turned it off for like
No, you didn't.
3 months.
Soundtrack
All right.
of our 2 months of podcasting.
You want to talk about the Beach Boys? Back when one of the stations we did was an oldies station, I had this old man that would call in every day and request, "Got any Beach Boys for me?" So, Jeff, I found your one friend that is also a Beach Boys fan. He's an old man in Indiana.
All right, well, between my dad and that old man and I will keep the Beach Boys firing away for many years to come. This has been a very fun episode. Final thoughts from each of you guys on the cruise, the Jericho Cruise.
Go ahead.
I guess I'll go first. I overall enjoyed it. Like, it was a fun show. It was a unique venue. The 98% roll-up finishes was a little weird, but overall, for being like something that's different, I'm all for shows that are, look different or are presented different, that kind of thing. Like, it achieved that. Like, it was something unique. It was meant to be a fun show. It wasn't meant to be something taken like super serious. You just turn it on, kick back. Obviously, everybody that was at the show was having a lot of fun, with the cruise and everything. So overall, gets a thumbs up for me. Some of the production things I wish would have been a little bit better. Like, it was a little very bare bones. Like, even compared to most, ROH shows, like even the ones that are on Honor Club, like it was very bare bones. But besides that, overall, enjoyable show.
Yeah, I agree. It was a very enjoyable show. Roll-up finishes. Come on, like, really? From a booking standpoint, that's fucking lazy. I would think over the last 9,000 years of professional wrestling, we can learn that you can have clean finishes and it doesn't hurt people. Yes, I am referring to a roll-up as not a clean finish because I've always looked at those sort of finishes as kind of protecting people. And when you have what was the final count in the matches we got to watch in completion? Three out of four in the first round, and
then one in the second round.
So yeah, 4 out of 6 matches. Like, people can lose and it doesn't hurt them.
And I think just
and jobbing up Mark Briscoe to Jay Briscoe for the 7,000th time.
No, you had no story in the tournament other than Flip Gordon wins.
It was just I felt like that was more if All In didn't exist, that story didn't exist. Right. It's kind of like that the story of Flip Gordon winning a tournament to me is like a payoff to All In, and maybe that's just me reading into it, but it's just kind of like a continued payoff to me of Flip Gordon's story that has been told over the last several months through All In, through being the elite on YouTube and through all the various social medias. But it did he get his title shot?
Not yet, I don't think.
Not yet.
Okay.
But like you mentioned,
so instead of getting in the logical progression of like, well, you just won the title shot, so you should get it at Final Battle, Cody Rhodes gets the title shot for no fucking reason at Final Battle.
Correct.
Yeah, I still don't feel like we've got the proper payoff from the All In thing with Flip Gordon, because I think the payoff,
with him just getting a match, right?
Yeah, Well,
what if the
still, I think like
storyline
the
is
ultimate
Jay?
payoff had been if he had actually like won the belt. Like that would have been the ultimate like fu to Cody and
Yeah.
for turning him down. Like like hey, look, I actually won the Ring of Honor title on your show. Like I think that would have been a better angle than doing the Bully Ray stuff at All In that they ended up eventually doing.
What if we do this? What if going forward, we obviously there's this whole Young Bucks and Cody and Adam Page, they're all leaving. What if Cody wins the world title at Final Battle, and they do the TV tapings the next day? Flip Gordon challenges him and says, "If you lose, you can never come back," and beats him.
Wait, Flip Gordon is the world champ?
Yeah. What if they did that?
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I mean, you got to pay it off somehow.
No.
Think you just leave the fans hanging?
I don't know. I don't think they, from how I read things and just watching things, I don't think they built Flip to be up to be that guy. And maybe it's just me being a fucking
and working with Bubba Ray Dudley doesn't help.
No, it does not.
No,
that's his match. That's his match for Final Battle, isn't it? A fight without honor or some bullshit like that.
I quit match.
I quit
match.
Fully. Jesus.
That's why I say I hope it's the. That's why I say I hope that's the write-off for Bully Ray is him saying I quit and he ends up just quitting Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Please.
I just don't. I do leave this show feeling like you're building Flip Gordon, but for what? That's what I want. Like that's where I would like to see is like what is he being built towards and what is he being built for?
Maybe Gordon at the Garden. Like maybe you have a big like New Japan match as the main event, but on the undercard somewhere you get Flip gets his title shot.
And then I feel like with that, man, that
minimizes
it's a Ring of Honor. It minimizes Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Yeah.
That's a show that to me the main event should be a Ring of Honor World Title match. It's a Ring of Honor show. It's in the States. It may be co-promoted, but the payoff to me is that it's a Ring of Honor title match of significance, and they've got 4 months to build to that.
Which means they're gonna think about it about 3 weeks beforehand and pick around because the current booking regime. And in all fairness, Delirious is the head booker. Christopher Daniels, Todd Sinclair, BJ. Bubba. I mean, you got people pitching ideas and sending in things and trying to piece together a show and a story. But for as much respect as I have for Christopher Daniels and BJ Whitmer, the rest of that, booking committee, what do you want? Like, I don't see any credibility. So at the end of the day, like, you need new creative.
But I guess that kind of plays into how I look at this show with just the really kind of they're flat finishes. Roll-ups can be flat finishes, and I feel like that's what they were here. That's a lack of creative or trusting that having a decisive finish will hurt somebody.
Because Delirious has done a shitty job building up guys up.
And I guess that's the one thing I always read about is that exactly what you just said. I don't know, Zach. I feel like you watch a little bit more than either of us do.
Yeah, I do for the most part still keep current with ROH. Like I never really fully stopped watching. I'd have periods where like maybe I don't keep up with the TV as much as I used to, but I try to catch like when they do the specials on Honor Club now and catch the pay-per-views and stuff. But like I'm not saying that by any means like it's the best promotion in the world or anything like that. Like there's still a lot of things that they need to improve upon and work on. Like I do think they are better now than like when Sinclair first took over and that kind of stuff. Like they have improved some, but the real test is going to be what is ROH after the Elite leaves, after those guys, leave. But to me, it flashes back to like when Punk left and Joe left and all those guys left, where it's like, okay, how do you rebuild? How do you reload from it? So that's going to be the big question, especially with, you've got this big show in the Garden coming up, and they've got a pay-per-view before that and the anniversary show. So they've got a few months to try to build things up before you get to that major, major show in the Garden. But yeah, I think for me, the real thing is, they definitely have improved, but there's still tons of room for improvement.
I guess that's kind of what I look at with this show is like this show is so heavily a Bullet Club, Elite, whatever.
Everybody
match.
else felt like lesser
Yeah.
than.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's definitely the sort of thing I think about with this. Of, when a show is so heavily focused on those specific characters, it makes me wonder, what do you do when they're gone?
You didn't even have an actual story with them while they were there.
Mm-hmm.
So now that they're gone, you're not really losing a storyline. You're losing character pieces and guys that you have to fill, roster spots with for shows. But I mean, for the life of me, I just think they're out of ideas. Eventually, everybody has to get to a point. I mean, Delirious has been in charge of booking shows for 8 years, 9 years?
Oh, yeah, since September of 2010, which is longer than Gabe or Adam combined.
So eventually you have to say to yourself, like, he's not going to quit this job because he's got a sweetheart of a job. But at the same point, you have to say, like, I'm out.
Well, and
what else? I need help.
Well, no, or just from from an employer standpoint, like, I would imagine that's part of the reason why the other names have gotten thrown in there. I don't know if it's a booking. I had no idea what it looks like in that, but that's why other names are put in there, because it's too much. It is. It can be too much for one person, and especially after that many years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to say, didn't they just sign a guy that used to write for WWE, Kevin Eck? I want to say I thought I saw his name pop up as recently signed by ROH somewhere in the last couple of days.
I haven't seen anything, but I can.
Because that might be
check out my
some of that new blood that we're talking about that maybe they need if they're bringing him in as a writer. I remember seeing Kevin Eck signed by ROH.
ROH writer, content producer.
So, maybe that's some of that new blood. Like, maybe they are saying, like, hey, we need somebody fresh in here, something to take a new look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows how much he'll actually contribute, but maybe that's a first step. You got to take that first step.
That's kind of my concern, personally, is that, Delirious has had kind of some crutches. He's had the Bullet Club and the company just making money hand over fist. He had Cornette at the beginning, kind of helping out a little bit. You laugh, but it's
who the fuck? No one's making money hand over fist.
I mean, they're drawing 3,000, 4,000 people at shows. I mean,
yeah, they're drawing that money for the shows that I think that have those guys on them.
Right. Exactly.
How many people are survival of the fittest?
Whatever that building holds.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not more than 1,000.
Yeah.
But it was full. Like, I think that building, and I mean,
the crowds have definitely been a larger, consistent number than they ever were during my day. That's no doubt. You have a much greater range of exposure. I would. I don't know. I guess it's just like, what do you think? You look at WWE, I guess, in some ways. Like, what do they do when Austin and The Rock are gone and no longer available and no longer things? Okay, well, there's Cena and Batista. Well, what do they do when those guys are gone and no longer available?
Here's Roman Reigns and Brock
No.
Lesnar.
And no, here's Brock Lesnar. Eventually, you hit a point where it's like, and I feel like that's
Have they
where they're at
gotten
now. Is that they're like at that? We got Jay Lethal
yeah.
point.
Is
Where
there
we
any
have-
company out there that's creating new stars on a day-to-day basis? Any wrestling company?
I mean, the only companies that are remotely comparable as far as nationally are WWE, Impact, Ring of Honor.
Has anybody created a new star? Anybody? Bueller. I'm not seeing it.
Nobody. Yeah, nobody on the level of like what the Bucks are doing. Like nobody's on the level of what ROH is losing. Like there's not a piece that you can take and you can plug in there and have that same amount of star power.
So if they go and they form their own group, are they going to matter?
Or who going to matter, the Elite or ROH?
The Elite. Well, ROH won't. They'll just drop off increasingly faster and faster. But will the Elite, all Elite Wrestling or whatever it's called, will it matter in the grand scheme of things?
I guess it depends on what it is.
Exactly.
On what it is and what they do.
Yeah.
Because, honest to God, I don't see a TV station throwing a lot of money at them. I know the guy that is supposedly behind it, that owns the Jaguars, is a very, very, very wealthy man. And if he would like to pay any of us to come work for him, I'd listen.
If you need a play-by-play commentator, let me know.
Yeah.
My pro wrestling play-by-play debut goes canceled a few months back, but you know.
Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, we could certainly do the All Elite Wrestling podcast. But
yeah.
at this point, like, what is that? So, is this some grand story that Hunter has cooked up? I doubt it. Is it something that can become another promotion for these guys to work? There's MLW that's out there. Are these guys going to all work there too? Are they going to work whatever All Elite Wrestling turns out to be? There's so many things up in the air right now, and the bottom line is no promotion has created new stars.
No.
Actually, I think you just brought up a good point. Like, nobody really knows. Like, who's to say that whatever All Elite Wrestling ends up being, maybe they end up having some sort of working deal with, like, ROH, where, we'll still see Cody and the Bucks and those guys from time to time in ROH or something like that. Like, maybe they do pop up on occasion. Like, nobody really knows just yet what exactly is going on. Like, all it is at this point is, rumor and innuendo, as another podcast likes to say. Like, we're just speculating on what we think it might be, but it could end up being something entirely different. And really, we see those guys not leave ROH with almost no change.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very fascinating time for wrestling headed into 2019, or as I should say, 2019. Have respect for the great Sour Shoes, the greatest phone caller of all time.
Yes.
And I get to do this for a full year too. It's very hard to imagine Ring of Honor losing this group, but it's not like Ring of Honor has done anything other than draw bigger houses with this group. There's been no story that's mattered. And that's on creative, and it's not on the effort of the guys that are in the ring, because they've had great matches. You just haven't seen a story. There's no story. What is Flip Gordon? What have they done to tell me what Flip Gordon is? What does SCU do besides tell me this is the worst town we've ever been?
With SCU, there actually is a story with them going, leading up to Final Battle.
Yes.
Early in the year, there was the thing with Joe Koff, where Joe Koff said, "We're not renewing your deals." And so SCU's been on a quest to prove that they belong and prove that they should stick with ROH. So, like, with SCU, there's been at least a little bit of a story. But, yeah, for, like, everybody else, Flip doesn't have much beyond he's the plucky underdog that is trying to win everybody over and feuding with Bully Ray, who Bully is saying he's everything that's wrong with the business. But like that's been done a billion times.
Being the Elite has done more with creative storytelling than any wrestling promotion out there.
Yep.
Yes.
As wacky as it is, at times they've done more with it. So why
look
not
what
make them
Being the
the
Elite did? Look what Being the Elite did. It caused a freaking 10,000 seat venue in Chicago to sell out because that was basically all done by the promotion those guys did on Being the Elite.
Being the Elite is the reason anyone gives a fuck about Flip.
Correct.
Yep, like, that's what helped put Flip over.
What they did between Being the Elite and the Twitters back and forth between Cody and Flip and Brandy, that made Flip relevant.
Yep.
And it's unfortunate because I think the kid's got a lot of talent and a lot of room to grow, and now he's going to lose his biggest vehicle, supposedly, to get him over because I don't see Delirious being able to figure out vignettes or stories to put into their hour-long TV show. I mean, this Pinnacle thing that just appeared on the website, that's nice and all. It's a good idea, but Jay Lethal apparently bought tickets to go see the guy that wrestled. He wrestled his first title defense.
And as I said to you, Jeff, I don't know if there was a single point where Jay Lethal was a ticket-buying fan because he started wrestling before Ring of Honor existed.
Correct. That is correct. But it is the Pinnacle, and the Pinnacle tells us all truths. Just ask the guy who wrote that one episode of Friends.
I feel like I have not yet watched this Pinnacle. I need to. I feel like I need to.
It was very well produced, but if you've been watching the company since its inception,
you're thinking to yourself, what the hell is this shit? That was my Jay Lethal. Like they show Jay and Jay's talking and blah 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 blah. I paid to see Samoa Joe and I paid to see CM Punk and I paid to see the Homicide. Was that the third one?
Maybe.
And I go,
he was in freaking Special K. He was booked on those shows.
K. He was out of Special K by the time Joe was champion.
Yep. I like they just put a script in front of him or something. I don't know. It was nice. Yeah.
Oh, they should be ashamed.
Wow.
They should issue a correction saying, we're sorry, we apologize. This was a scripted interview with Jay Lethal. He thought he was the Macho Man. And, yeah. I'm sorry. Here's the actual real first episode of Pinnacle. Our apologies. Either way, this has been a fun and enlightening show. A look at the Jericho Cruise. So, without anything more to say, we'll wrap us at 2 hours and roughly 52 minutes. And we'll shout out the Mayor Sauronaro. And I guess we'll say no need to trip out. It's time to dip out. Slap Porpoise. This one is over. We're out. We'll see you next time on patreon.com/an honorable pod.